Once upon a time, in the heart of a sprawling kingdom known as Eldoria, there was a hidden wonder known as the Moonlit Caves. These caves were renowned for their shimmering crystals and glowing walls, which only illuminated during the full moon. Legends whispered that deep within the caves lay a magical artifact called the Moonstone, which had the power to grant one wish to its bearer. The Moonlit Caves were surrounded by an air of mystery and magic. It was said that only those with a pure heart and noble intentions could navigate the labyrinthine passages and find the Moonstone. The entrance to the caves was concealed by a dense thicket and only revealed when the moonlight touched it. In the village of Willowbrook, which lay on the edge of Eldoria, lived a courageous and kind-hearted young woman named Mira. Mira had grown up hearing tales of the Moonlit Caves and the Moonstone. She had always wished to use the power of the Moonstone to help her village, which had been suffering from a prolonged drought that had left the fields barren and the riverbeds dry. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Mira decided it was time to venture into the Moonlit Caves. She gathered a few essentials, a lantern, a map of the caves, and a small pouch of provisions, and set out with determination. As she approached the thicket that concealed the cave entrance, the moonlight seemed to dance and part the branches, revealing the hidden path. Mira took a deep breath and stepped into the darkness of the cave. Inside, the caves were bathed in a soft, ethereal glow from the luminescent crystals that lined the walls. The air was cool and filled with the gentle sound of dripping water. Mira followed the map's directions, winding her way through narrow passages and avoiding treacherous pitfalls. The journey was both exhilarating and challenging. Soon, Mira encountered her first obstacle, a vast chasm with no visible way across. As she examined the chasm, a shimmering figure appeared before her. It was an ethereal guardian of the caves, a graceful figure with silver wings and eyes like deep pools of starlight. To cross this chasm, the guardian said, "You must show your courage. You must leap across the stones and trust in your own strength." Mira, though nervous, steeled herself and began the daring leap across the stones. Her determination and faith saw her through, and she landed safely on the other side, where the guardian nodded in approval. Continuing deeper into the caves, Mira faced her next challenge, a labyrinth of illusions and enchantments. The paths seemed to twist and turn in impossible ways, and the walls appeared to close in. Mira remembered the advice her grandmother had given her about staying calm and focusing on her true goal. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and thought of her village and its people. When she opened her eyes, the illusions faded, and a clear path emerged. Finally, Mira reached the heart of the Moonlit Caves, where the Moonstone was said to be hidden. The chamber was bathed in a breathtaking light, and in the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with the Moonstone glowing softly atop it. The Moonstone radiated a calming light, and its surface seemed to ripple like water. As Mira approached, a gentle voice spoke. It was the spirit of the Moonstone itself. To claim the Moonstone, you must prove your worthiness. You must share your wish with the purest intentions. Mira took a deep breath and spoke from her heart. I wish for the drought to end and for our village to be restored. I wish for our fields to be green again and for the rivers to flow freely. The Moonstone's glow intensified, and a warm, soothing light enveloped Mira. The light seemed to flow from the Moonstone and spread throughout the caves. Mira felt a sense of peace and fulfillment as the Moonstone's magic began to work. With the Moonstone in hand, Mira made her way back to Willowbrook. As she approached the village, she saw the sky clearing, and the first signs of rain began to fall. The drought was ending, and the land began to awaken with new life. Mira's return was met with cheers and celebrations. The villagers rejoiced as their fields turned green and the rivers filled with sparkling water. Mira was hailed as a hero, and the Moonstone's magic was credited with bringing prosperity back to Willowbrook. The Moonlit Caves, now known to be a place of great magic and wonder, remained a treasured secret of Eldoria. Mira's bravery and selflessness had not only saved her village but had also ensured that the Moonstone's power would be remembered and respected. And so, Willowbrook thrived once more, its people living in harmony with the land, always grateful for the courage of the young woman who ventured into the Moonlit Caves and brought back the gift of renewal. The end. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Lyria, nestled between emerald hills and glistening rivers, lay a quaint village named Riverview. This village was renowned for its serene beauty and the legend of a hidden treasure known as the Moonstone, said to be tucked away in a mysterious cavern deep within the Whispering Forest. The Moonstone was no ordinary gem. It was believed to have the power to grant a single wish to anyone pure of heart. Many had searched for the cavern, but none had succeeded, for it was said to be guarded by magical creatures and riddles only those with true courage could solve. In Riverview lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit. One evening, as the full moon cast a silvery light over the village, Elara decided it was time to seek out the Moonstone. She wished to use its magic to help her village prosper, as they had been struggling with a harsh drought. With a satchel of supplies and a heart full of hope, Elara ventured into the Whispering Forest. The forest was alive with gentle whispers and soft, glowing lights. As Elara followed a narrow path lined with glowing mushrooms, she felt a sense of both wonder and anticipation. The first challenge Elara faced was a vast, shimmering lake that stretched out before her. The water sparkled like diamonds under the moonlight, but there was no visible way across. As she pondered her next move, a voice echoed from the water's surface. "To cross, you must show courage and resolve. Answer this riddle, and the way will open." A beautiful swan with feathers that shimmered like the moon emerged from the lake. The swan recited, "I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but cannot go outside. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and then answered, "A piano." The swan nodded approvingly, and the lake parted to reveal stepping stones that led across. Elara crossed the lake with determination and continued deeper into the forest. The next challenge led Elara to a dense thicket, where the trees formed a labyrinth. At the entrance stood a wise old owl perched on a branch. "To pass through the maze, you must help a creature in need," the owl hooted softly. "Look for the creature that needs your aid, and the path will be revealed." Elara wandered through the maze, guided by the soft hoots of the owl. After a while, she found a small hedgehog tangled in a net of thorns. With gentle hands and a soothing voice, Elara carefully freed the hedgehog. The grateful creature scurried away, and as it did, the thorns parted to reveal the way forward. Finally, Elara reached the entrance to the Moonstone Cavern. The cavern's mouth was hidden behind a waterfall, which cascaded down in shimmering sheets. As Elara stepped closer, a soft, melodic voice spoke from within the waterfall. "To enter the cavern, you must face the test of the heart. Show your true self, and the path will open." Elara took a deep breath and stepped through the waterfall into the cavern. Inside, the cavern was filled with glowing crystals that cast a rainbow of colors on the walls. In the center of the cavern stood the Moonstone, perched on a pedestal of crystal. As Elara approached the Moonstone, she felt a surge of warmth and light. She placed her hands gently on the gem and made her wish, "I wish for my village to be blessed with rain so that our land may flourish and our people may thrive." The Moonstone glowed brightly, and a soft, ethereal light filled the cavern. Elara felt a sense of peace and joy, knowing that her wish was sincere and came from the heart. With a final burst of light, the Moonstone's magic spread across the land. Elara made her way back to Riverview, where she found that the sky was now filled with dark, rain-filled clouds. The rain began to fall gently, soaking the parched earth and bringing life back to the fields and rivers. The villagers rejoiced, their hearts filled with gratitude for Elara's bravery and selflessness. The village prospered once more, and the story of Elara's quest became a cherished tale told to children and grandchildren, inspiring them to believe in the magic of a pure heart. And so, Riverview thrived under the blessing of the Moonstone, and the Whispering Forest remained a place of wonder and magic, where dreams and wishes came to life. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by towering mountains, there was a magical forest known as Everwood. In the heart of Everwood stood a majestic willow tree, known to all as the Whispering Willow. This tree was said to have the power to grant a single wish once every 100 years, but only to those who could uncover its hidden melody. In a small village at the edge of the forest lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his curiosity and adventurous spirit. He often ventured into Everwood, exploring its secrets and marveling at its beauty. Despite the village's warnings about the forest's mysteries, Finn was drawn to its enchantments. One day, while wandering near the Whispering Willow, Finn noticed that the tree seemed to shimmer with a soft, golden light. The leaves rustled gently, and a faint, haunting melody drifted through the air. Intrigued, Finn approached the tree and heard the melody more clearly. It was a beautiful, yet elusive tune that seemed to be both familiar and strange. Determined to uncover the secret of the melody, Finn decided to visit the village's wise elder, Grandma Eliza. She was known for her knowledge of the forest's legends and magic. "Grandma Eliza," Finn said, "I heard a beautiful melody coming from the Whispering Willow. Do you know what it means?" Grandma Eliza smiled warmly. "Ah, the Whispering Willow's melody is a long-forgotten song. It is said that the tree's magic can only be unlocked by someone who understands its tune and has a pure heart. The melody holds the key to the tree's power." Finn's eyes sparkled with determination. "How can I learn the melody and unlock the tree's magic?" Grandma Eliza handed Finn an old, leather-bound book. This book contains ancient songs and stories about Everwood. Perhaps within its pages, you will find a clue to the melody you seek. With the book in hand, Finn returned to the Whispering Willow. He spent days studying the ancient songs, listening to the tree's melody, and trying to match the notes. The melody was delicate and elusive, but Finn was patient and persistent. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest was bathed in twilight, Finn heard the melody more clearly than ever. He realized that the notes of the melody matched a series of musical symbols in the book. With newfound insight, Finn began to hum the tune, matching it with the symbols. To his amazement, the Whispering Willow's leaves began to glow more brightly, and the melody grew stronger. The tree's branches swayed rhythmically, as if dancing to the tune. Finn continued to hum, his heart full of hope and concentration. As Finn reached the final note of the melody, a soft, shimmering light enveloped the tree. The Whispering Willow's branches parted, revealing a hidden door at the base of the trunk. Inside the hidden chamber was a beautiful, ancient chest adorned with intricate carvings. Finn carefully opened the chest, and inside he found a delicate silver locket with a single, glowing gem. The locket seemed to pulse with a gentle light, and a soft, melodic hum emanated from it. The Whispering Willow's voice echoed through the forest, filled with gratitude. "Young Finn, you have uncovered the hidden melody and unlocked the magic of the tree. This locket holds the power to grant one wish. Use it wisely, for it carries the heart of Everwood." Finn held the locket close and thought deeply about his wish. He remembered the villagers and their struggles with the harsh weather that had recently plagued their lands. He wished for the prosperity and well-being of his village and the restoration of their fertile lands. As Finn made his wish, the locket's gem glowed brightly and released a wave of shimmering light that spread across the valley. The light touched the village and the surrounding lands, bringing with it the blessing of rain, fertile soil, and renewed hope. When Finn returned to the village, he was greeted with cheers and amazement. The fields were lush and green, and the villagers' homes were filled with joy and abundance. The village flourished once more, thanks to Finn's selfless wish. Finn kept the locket as a reminder of his adventure and the power of the Whispering Willow. He continued to explore Everwood, cherishing the magic and wonder of the forest. The Whispering Willow remained a symbol of hope and enchantment, waiting for the next kind-hearted soul to uncover its secrets. And so, under the canopy of Everwood, Finn and his village lived happily ever after, their lives enriched by the magic of the Whispering Willow and the melody that had brought them prosperity and joy. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the hills were covered in flowers and the river sparkled like diamonds, there was a peaceful village named Greenleaf. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Alara, who had a special bond with animals. She spent her days tending to the village garden and caring for the creatures of the forest. One day, while Alara was gathering wildflowers near the edge of the woods, she heard a faint, magical melody drifting through the air. Intrigued, she followed the sound and came upon a small clearing she had never seen before. In the center of the clearing stood an old, gnarled tree with golden leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. Perched on one of the branches was an exquisite songbird with feathers that glistened like a rainbow. The bird was singing the enchanting melody that had drawn Alara to this hidden grove. The song was so beautiful that it brought tears to Alara's eyes. As the bird finished its song, it looked down at Alara with wise, twinkling eyes. "Greetings, kind soul," the bird spoke in a voice as sweet as its song. "I am Lyra, the enchanted songbird. I have been waiting for someone with a pure heart to find me." Alara was astonished but managed to respond, "Hello, Lyra. Your song is so beautiful. Why have you been waiting for me?" Lyra fluttered her wings gracefully. "I have been enchanted by a spell that keeps me bound to this tree. The spell can only be broken by someone who truly understands the magic of kindness and love. If you help me, I can bring great joy to your village." Alara's eyes widened with hope. "How can I help you?" Lyra explained that in order to break the spell, Alara needed to gather 3 special items from the forest: the silver leaf, the moonstone petal, and the whispering feather. Each item was guarded by a magical creature and required a deed of kindness to obtain. Determined, Alara set off into the forest. Her first task was to find the silver leaf, which was guarded by a wise old tortoise named Terran. Terran lived by a tranquil pond and was known for his wisdom. When Alara reached the pond, Terran greeted her kindly. "To earn the silver leaf, you must help me gather herbs for my potion," he said. Alara agreed and spent the afternoon collecting herbs with Terran. In gratitude, Terran presented her with the silver leaf, which shimmered like liquid silver. Next, Alara ventured deeper into the forest to find the moonstone petal, which was guarded by a gentle deer named Lumina. Lumina's forest home was filled with moonlit flowers that bloomed only at night. To earn the moonstone petal, Alara helped Lumina care for the flowers and ensure they received enough light. Lumina, touched by Alara's kindness, gave her the delicate petal that glowed softly in the dark. Finally, Alara needed the whispering feather, which was guarded by a playful sprite named Puck. Puck lived in a hidden grove and loved to play games. To earn the feather, Alara joined Puck in his games, showing genuine joy and friendliness. Puck, pleased with her spirit, gifted her the feather, which shimmered with a soft, ethereal light. With all 3 items in hand, Alara returned to the clearing where Lyra waited. The enchanted songbird sang a joyous tune as Alara presented the silver leaf, moonstone petal, and whispering feather. As Lyra touched each item, a burst of magic enveloped the grove, breaking the spell that had bound her to the tree. Lyra transformed into a beautiful fairy with shimmering wings. "Thank you, Alara. Your kindness has set me free. As a token of my gratitude, I will grant a blessing to your village." With a wave of her wand, Lyra sent a wave of magical light towards Greenleaf. The village was soon transformed into a place of extraordinary beauty and joy. Flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, the river sparkled even brighter, and the animals seemed to sing along with Lyra's melody. Alara returned to the village, where she was greeted with cheers and celebrations. The villagers were amazed by the transformation and grateful for the magic that had touched their lives. Alara shared the story of her adventure, and the tale of the enchanted songbird became a beloved legend in Greenleaf. From that day on, the village thrived in happiness and harmony, and Alara's name was remembered as the kind-hearted girl who brought magic and joy to Greenleaf through her deeds of love and kindness. Once upon a time, in the heart of the verdant kingdom of Eldoria, there was a mystical grove known as the Grove of Whispering Wishes. This enchanted grove was said to hold the power to grant a single wish to anyone who proved their worth through acts of courage, wisdom, and kindness. At the center of the grove stood an ancient, shimmering fountain known as the Fountain of Echoes. In a charming village nearby, there lived a young girl named Eloan. Eloan was known for her adventurous spirit and her kindness toward everyone she met. Her best friend was a clever, mischievous squirrel named Pip, who loved to explore and find hidden treasures. One sunny morning, Eloan and Pip discovered a weathered parchment that spoke of a rare celestial event known as the Starfall Festival. The parchment hinted that the Fountain of Echoes would be illuminated by the stars, and those who visited the grove during this event would have a chance to make a wish. Intrigued, Eloan and Pip decided to visit the Grove of Whispering Wishes and uncover its secrets. As the evening approached and the sky began to darken, Eloan and Pip made their way to the grove. The path was lined with glowing lanterns that seemed to float above the ground, guiding them toward their destination. When they arrived at the grove, they were greeted by a soft, enchanting glow emanating from the Fountain of Echoes. The fountain's waters sparkled with a myriad of colors, and the air was filled with the soothing sound of gentle whispers. However, the path to the fountain was blocked by 3 magical gates, each with a unique trial that needed to be completed before they could reach the fountain. The first gate was the Gate of Courage. It was guarded by a majestic, but stern, griffin who challenged Eloan and Pip with a riddle. "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Eloan thought hard and then realized the answer was a piano. As she spoke the answer aloud, the griffin nodded in approval, and the gate slowly opened, allowing them to proceed to the next trial. The second gate was the Gate of Wisdom. It was a shimmering gate covered in ancient runes. To open it, Eloan and Pip needed to solve a complex puzzle made of glowing, interlocking pieces that formed a celestial map. Pip used his nimble paws to fit the pieces together, while Eloan guided him by reading the runes. As they completed the celestial map, the gate glowed brightly and opened, revealing the path to the final gate. The last gate was the Gate of Kindness. It was adorned with delicate vines and flowers and guarded by a gentle spirit. To pass through, they needed to perform a kind deed. In the clearing near the gate, they found a small, injured fawn with a hurt leg. Eloan and Pip carefully tended to the fawn, using herbs and soft cloths to treat its injury. Eloan spoke soothingly to the fawn, and Pip offered it fresh water and tender leaves to eat. The fawn, now feeling much better, nuzzled them gratefully. The spirit, touched by their compassion, allowed them to pass through the gate. They reached the Fountain of Echoes, which was now illuminated by the falling stars, creating a breathtaking spectacle of light and color. Eloan and Pip approached the fountain, their hearts filled with hope and wonder. Eloan closed her eyes and made her wish, "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of all the people and creatures of Eldoria, so that they may live in harmony and joy." The Fountain of Echoes shimmered with a radiant light, and a gentle breeze carried Eloan's wish throughout the kingdom. The stars above twinkled even more brightly, and a sense of peace and happiness spread across Eldoria. Eloan and Pip returned to their village, where they were greeted with gratitude and celebration. The story of their adventure and the magic of the Grove of Whispering Wishes became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of courage, wisdom, and kindness. And so, the Grove of Whispering Wishes continued to be a place of magic and wonder, where dreams and wishes flourished under the light of the stars. The end. The tale of the Whispering Pond. In a lush, green valley surrounded by rolling hills and ancient forests, there lay a small village named Greenhaven. Greenhaven was known for its peaceful nature and its central feature, the Whispering Pond, a serene body of water said to hold the wisdom of ages and the power to grant one heartfelt wish each year. In this charming village lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and kind heart. Despite his many friends and a loving family, he felt a deep yearning to find his true calling and understand the purpose of his life. The enchanted wish. One evening, as the village prepared for the annual Moon Festival, which coincided with the day the Whispering Pond granted its wish, Finn approached the pond with a heavy heart. He knelt beside the water, gazing at the moon's reflection shimmering on its surface, and made his wish, "I wish to know my true purpose." As the moonlight touched the pond, a soft voice echoed from the water. "To find your true purpose, you must first discover the hidden light within yourself. Seek the path of the lost fireflies, and you shall find what you seek." The path of fireflies. Determined to uncover the meaning behind the cryptic message, Finn set out that night into the nearby forest, guided by the gentle glow of fireflies. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures and the rustling of leaves, and the air was filled with a sweet, earthy fragrance. Following the fireflies' dance, Finn wandered deeper into the forest until he reached a clearing bathed in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the clearing was an ancient, twisted oak tree with a hollow trunk. The fireflies gathered around the tree, their light flickering like tiny stars. The oak tree's secret. Finn approached the tree and peered into the hollow trunk. Inside, he found a small, intricately carved wooden box. He carefully opened the box to reveal a delicate golden key and a note. The note read, "The true purpose is not always in the finding but in the journey. Use the key to unlock the light within." Curious and excited, Finn looked around and noticed a faint beam of light emanating from beneath the roots of the oak tree. He used the golden key to carefully lift a hidden panel, revealing a secret compartment filled with a glowing crystal. The heart of the crystal. As Finn held the crystal, its light grew brighter and warmer. He felt a surge of energy and understanding wash over him. The light from the crystal seemed to reflect his innermost thoughts and desires. In that moment, Finn realized that his true purpose was to bring light and joy to others, to help guide those who were lost or in need. With this newfound clarity, Finn returned to Greenhaven, his heart brimming with a sense of purpose and excitement. He began to use his skills and kindness to support his community, helping with various tasks, offering encouragement, and sharing his adventures. A village transformed. Finn's newfound sense of purpose had a profound impact on Greenhaven. The village thrived as a place of warmth and support, where neighbors helped one another and the community flourished with new projects and ideas. The Moon Festival became an even more special event, celebrating not just the Whispering Pond's magic but also the light within each individual. The villagers often looked to Finn as a source of inspiration, and his story became a beloved legend in Greenhaven. They learned that the journey to discover one's purpose could be as magical and rewarding as the purpose itself. The legacy of the Whispering Pond. Years passed, and Finn's legacy continued to shine brightly in Greenhaven. The Whispering Pond remained a cherished part of the village, a symbol of the wisdom and magic that guided Finn on his journey. Each year, the villagers would visit the pond, making their own wishes and finding their own paths. And so, the village of Greenhaven thrived under the guiding light of its people, forever inspired by the tale of a young boy who found his true purpose through the magic of the Whispering Pond and the journey of the lost fireflies. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a humble music shop run by an elderly man named Master Caden. The shop was known far and wide for its magical instruments, each with a unique and enchanting story. Among these instruments was a golden violin known as the Enchanted Melody. Legend had it that the enchanted melody could only be played by someone with a heart full of kindness and bravery. Its music was said to bring joy, heal wounds, and even grant a single wish to the pure-hearted soul who played it. But the violin had remained silent for many years, as no one had yet proven worthy of its magic. In this village lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her sweet nature and her love of music. Every day, she played her small, worn-out violin, filling the village with beautiful melodies. Despite her talent, her family was poor, and they struggled to make ends meet. Ilara dreamed of a better life for her family and wished to bring happiness and prosperity to her village. One crisp autumn morning, while walking past Master Caden's shop, Ilara heard the faintest whisper of a melody that seemed to call to her. Intrigued, she entered the shop and saw the golden violin displayed on a velvet cushion. Its beauty was breathtaking, and the melody it seemed to whisper felt like a promise of hope. Master Caden, who had been observing Ilara with a knowing smile, approached her. "The enchanted melody has been waiting for someone like you," he said. "It is said that only someone with a truly pure heart can play its magic." Ilara's eyes widened with excitement and curiosity. "How can I prove myself worthy?" Master Caden handed her the violin and said, "You must undertake a quest to show your true heart. There are 3 tasks that will test your kindness and bravery. Only by completing them will the enchanted melody reveal its magic." Ilara accepted the challenge with determination. The first task took her to the edge of the village, where a small, struggling farm was in dire need of help. The farm's crops were wilting, and the farmer's animals were weak. Ilara worked tirelessly, tending to the crops, feeding the animals, and helping the farmer restore the land. Her efforts brought new life to the farm, and the grateful farmer thanked her with tears of joy. The second task led Alara to the heart of the forest, where she found a wounded deer caught in a hunter's trap. With gentle hands and a kind heart, Alara freed the deer, tended to its wounds, and stayed by its side until it could walk again. The deer looked at her with grateful eyes before bounding back into the forest, its strength restored. For the final task, Alara had to climb the steepest hill in the village and reach a hidden cave where a mystical flower known as the star blossom was said to bloom. The journey was arduous, and Alara faced harsh weather and rough terrain. But she persevered, driven by the thought of her village and her family. When she finally reached the cave, she found the star blossom glowing with a soft, celestial light. She carefully plucked the flower and made her way back, exhausted but fulfilled. Upon returning to Master Caden's shop, Alara presented the star blossom and recounted her experiences. Master Caden nodded approvingly and said, "You have proven yourself worthy with your acts of kindness and bravery." With that, Master Caden handed Alara the enchanted melody. As she held the golden violin, she felt a warm, magical energy flow through her. She lifted the bow and began to play. The music that flowed from the violin was unlike anything anyone had ever heard, melodies of joy and healing that filled the air with enchantment. The villagers gathered around, mesmerized by the beautiful music. As Alara played, the village transformed, crops flourished, the river sparkled with newfound vitality, and a sense of happiness and peace settled over everyone. The magic of the enchanted melody had brought prosperity and joy to the village. Alara's family, too, found their fortunes changing. They were able to build a new home and live comfortably. And Alara's dream of bringing happiness to her family and village had come true. Master Caden smiled with pride. The true magic of the enchanted melody is not just in its notes, but in the kindness and courage of the one who plays it. From that day on, Alara became known as the village's most cherished musician, and the enchanted melody was played during every celebration and festival, spreading joy and harmony throughout the land. The tale of Alara and the golden violin became a beloved story, a reminder that the greatest magic of all is found in the heart. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and the rivers sang sweet lullabies, there was a tranquil village named Meadowbrook. Known for its lush meadows and vibrant gardens, Meadowbrook was blessed with a unique flower called the star lily. The star lily bloomed only once every 100 years and was said to grant a single wish to the pure of heart who found it. In Meadowbrook lived a humble, kind-hearted girl named Clara. Clara loved nature and spent her days tending to her garden and helping her neighbors. She had heard stories about the star lily from her grandmother, who had always told her that finding the flower was a rare and wondrous event. One bright spring morning, Clara woke to find a message tucked beneath her pillow. It read, "The star lily blooms tonight." To find it, follow the light of the morning sun to the whispering meadow. Clara was thrilled and determined to see the star lily. As the day progressed, she prepared for her adventure, gathering a small satchel of provisions and setting out for the Whispering Meadows. The meadow was known for its beauty and tranquility, and Clara had always felt a special connection to it. As Clara walked towards the meadow, the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden light across the landscape. She followed the path through the meadow, guided by the soft glow of the evening sun. The gentle breeze seemed to whisper encouragement as she walked. Eventually, Clara arrived at a secluded grove at the center of the meadow. The grove was surrounded by ancient, towering trees whose leaves shimmered with a silvery hue in the fading light. In the center of the grove stood a majestic, glowing stone pedestal. On top of the pedestal was the star lily, its petals radiant with a celestial light. As Clara approached the flower, she was greeted by a gentle, shimmering figure emerging from the shadows. It was the spirit of the meadow, a guardian of the land with a graceful presence and eyes that sparkled like the night sky. "Welcome, Clara," the spirit said with a warm smile. "You have found the star lily, a rare and magical flower. To receive its gift, you must prove your heart's true nature." The spirit presented Clara with 3 tasks. 1. The task of kindness ***. Clara was to help a wandering traveler who had lost their way in the meadow. Clara spotted an elderly man looking confused and offered him guidance and companionship back to the village. Her kindness and willingness to help were genuine, and the man thanked her warmly. 2. The task of courage ***. Clara was to cross a narrow, rickety bridge over a deep chasm to reach a hidden glen. Despite her fear, Clara carefully crossed the bridge, determined to complete the task. Her bravery allowed her to safely reach the glen, where she found a basket of delicate, rare flowers. 3. The task of wisdom ***. Clara was to solve a riddle given by the spirit. The riddle was, I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I? Clara thought carefully and answered, a fire. The spirit nodded in approval. Having completed the tasks with sincerity and grace, Clara returned to the star lily. The spirit of the meadow blessed her with a heartfelt smile and said, You have shown kindness, courage, and wisdom. The star lily's magic is now yours. The star lily's petals began to glow more brightly, and Clara made her wish, I wish for the well-being and happiness of my village, so that everyone may thrive in harmony and joy. As the words left Clara's lips, a soft, shimmering light enveloped Meadowbrook. The fields became even more fertile, the river sparkled with renewed clarity, and the village flourished with prosperity and peace. The magic of the star lily had brought a lasting blessing to Meadowbrook. Clara returned to her village, where she was greeted with gratitude and celebration. The villagers marveled at the new vitality of their land and honored Clara for her selflessness and bravery. Clara's wish had come true, and Meadowbrook became a place of joy and harmony for all who lived there. The star lily, having fulfilled its purpose, faded into a gentle glow, promising to return in another 100 years. Clara's story was passed down through generations as a testament to the power of kindness, courage, and wisdom. And so, Meadowbrook thrived in the glow of its newfound magic, and Clara lived a life filled with love, joy, and contentment. And they all lived happily ever after. In the heart of a sprawling kingdom, nestled between towering mountains and endless meadows, there was a quaint village named Everwood. Everwood was famous for its lush gardens and the shimmering river that wound through its center. The village was known to be under the protection of a magical sapphire stone, said to bring prosperity and peace. The sapphire stone was kept hidden in the tallest tower of the village's castle, watched over by a wise old wizard named Cedric. Cedric had dedicated his life to ensuring that the stone's magic remained undisturbed. However, rumors began to spread that a dark sorcerer, Morgoth, was plotting to steal the sapphire and use its power for his own wicked purposes. One crisp autumn morning, a courageous young woman named Arya, known for her bravery and quick thinking, learned about the danger threatening her beloved village. Determined to protect Everwood, Arya sought out Cedric to offer her help. Cedric, though initially hesitant, recognized Arya's fierce determination and agreed to guide her through the castle's many defenses. He handed her a small, enchanted map that would lead her to the sapphire stone. The map was magical, glowing softly and showing the way through the castle's hidden passages and secret traps. Arya set off on her quest, the map guiding her through winding corridors and ancient staircases. The castle was filled with puzzles and obstacles, each one more challenging than the last. As she navigated the castle, she encountered 3 trials, each testing her courage and wisdom. Trial 1, the Labyrinth of Shadows. Arya entered a vast labyrinth where the walls seemed to shift and move. Shadows danced along the pathways, creating illusions and misleading her. To find her way, Arya focused on the gentle hum of her enchanted map, which pulsed with a soft light. By trusting her instincts and following the map's guidance, she found the correct path and exited the labyrinth. Trial 2, the Hall of Echoes. In the Hall of Echoes, Arya faced a series of enchanted mirrors that repeated her voice and created confusing echoes. To pass this trial, she needed to decipher the true voice among the echoes. Using her keen sense of listening and her knowledge of ancient riddles, Arya solved the puzzle and discovered the hidden door that led her to the next challenge. Trial 3, the Chamber of Fire. The final trial was a chamber filled with blazing fire pits and intense heat. To cross safely, Arya needed to cool the flames using a magical incantation written in an ancient script. With Cedric's guidance and her own bravery, Arya recited the incantation, and the flames died down, revealing a staircase leading to the tower where the sapphire stone was kept. At the top of the tower, Arya found the sapphire stone, glowing with a brilliant, calming light. As she approached it, Morgoth appeared, his dark robes billowing as he prepared to seize the stone. Arya confronted the sorcerer, using her quick thinking to outwit him. She cleverly distracted Morgoth with a series of illusions created by her own magic, buying herself enough time to place protective wards around the sapphire. Morgoth, enraged and frustrated, was forced to retreat, unable to break through the wards. With the sapphire stone safe and secure, Arya returned to the village, where she was hailed as a hero. Cedric praised her bravery and presented her with a special token, a silver locket containing a tiny piece of the sapphire's magic. From that day on, Everwood thrived under the protection of the sapphire stone, and Arya's name became legendary. She continued to safeguard her village and share her wisdom, knowing that true bravery and cleverness were the greatest tools in protecting what one holds dear. And so, under the shimmering sky and with the magic of the sapphire stone shining brightly, Everwood remained a beacon of hope and prosperity, forever protected by the courage of a single brave heart. Once upon a time, in a land where the seasons danced in harmony, there was a magical kingdom called Verdant Vale. Verdant Vale was unique because it experienced all 4 seasons simultaneously. Spring blossomed in the east, summer shone in the south, autumn painted the west in golden hues, and winter frosted the north. The heart of Verdant Vale was a magnificent castle where Queen Arya ruled with wisdom and kindness. The secret to the kingdom's perpetual harmony lay in the Crystal of the 4 Seasons, a magical artifact that balanced the elements of nature. The crystal was kept in the castle's highest tower, guarded by powerful enchantments. Queen Arya had a daughter named Elara, a spirited and adventurous young princess with hair as golden as the summer sun and eyes as blue as the winter sky. Elara loved exploring the kingdom and making friends with its many creatures, from the talking birds of spring to the playful foxes of autumn. One day, as Elara was playing in the garden, a dark cloud descended over Verdant Vale. The sky grew ominously dark, and the winds howled with a chilling intensity. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared. It was Malvuk, a sorcerer banished from Verdant Vale long ago for his dark ambitions. Queen Arya. Malvuk's voice boomed through the castle. Your reign of harmony ends today. I shall take the crystal of the 4 seasons and plunge this land into eternal darkness. Before anyone could react, Malvuk cast a spell that shattered the crystal into 4 pieces, scattering them across the kingdom. Each piece was carried away by the winds to the farthest corners of Verdant Vale. The balance of the seasons was broken, and chaos ensued. Winter snowed upon summer, autumn leaves fell upon spring blossoms, and the once harmonious land was thrown into turmoil. Queen Arya, though heartbroken, remained resolute. Elara, she said, her voice steady, you are the only one who can restore balance to our kingdom. You must find the 4 pieces of the crystal and bring them back. Elara, determined to save her home, set off on her quest. She traveled first to the east, where the spring blooms were wilting under a sudden frost. There, she met a wise old hare named Thistle, who guided her to a hidden grove where the first piece of the crystal lay beneath an ancient cherry tree. Beware, princess, Thistle warned. Malvuk's magic has awakened the frost golem, who guards this grove. Summoning her courage, Elara approached the grove and found the frost golem towering over the crystal shard. Using her quick wits, she tricked the golem into chasing a decoy made of snow, giving her the chance to retrieve the crystal piece. With the first piece secured, Elara journeyed south to the summer lands, now plagued by unpredictable rainstorms. In the heart of a sun-scorched desert, she encountered a fiery phoenix named Solara. The phoenix, impressed by Elara's determination, helped her locate the second piece of the crystal hidden in a cave of molten lava. To retrieve it, Elara had to cross a river of fire. Solara gifted her a feather that allowed her to walk through the flames unharmed. With the second piece in hand, she continued west to the autumn lands. There, the once vibrant forests were cloaked in fog and shadows. Elara found herself in a maze of enchanted trees, where she met an elusive stag named Orion. Orion led her to the center of the maze, where the third piece of the crystal was guarded by a mischievous spirit named Whisper. Elara engaged Whisper in a riddle contest, knowing that spirits loved games of wit. After correctly solving Whisper's riddles, she earned the third piece of the crystal. Finally, Elara traveled north to the Winter Lands, where blizzards now raged uncontrollably. In an ice cavern, she encountered a snow leopard named Frost. With Frost's help, Elara located the final piece of the crystal, embedded in a glacier. To free it, she had to melt the ice using the warmth of her heart. Elara remembered the love she had for her family and her kingdom. Focusing on these feelings, she held the crystal piece and, miraculously, the ice melted away. With all 4 pieces of the crystal, Elara returned to Verdant Vale. She climbed the castle's highest tower and placed the pieces together. The crystal glowed with a brilliant light, restoring balance to the seasons. The dark clouds parted, and Malvek's spell was broken. Queen Arya embraced Elara, her eyes filled with pride. "You have saved us all, my brave daughter." The kingdom rejoiced, and Verdant Vale once again flourished with the harmony of the 4 seasons. Elara's adventure became a legendary tale, reminding everyone of the power of courage, wisdom, and love. And so, under the eternal dance of the seasons, Verdant Vale thrived, and Princess Elara's bravery was celebrated for generations to come. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled in a lush valley, there was a mysterious old shop called the Weaving Wonders. The shop was run by a kind but reclusive woman named Elowen, who was known for her exquisite and magical tapestries. Each tapestry she wove told a story, and it was said that the threads she used were imbued with enchantments. The villagers loved Elowen's tapestries, but there was one tale that was often whispered among them, the story of the enchanted loom. According to legend, this loom had the power to weave not just beautiful tapestries but also to create magical items and fulfill the deepest desires of those who used it. However, the loom had been hidden away for many years, and its magic was believed to be lost. In this village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had always been fascinated by the stories of magic and wonder that surrounded Elowen's shop. She was known for her curious nature and her ability to solve puzzles. One day, she overheard a conversation about the enchanted loom and decided she would find it and uncover its secrets. Mira approached Elowen's shop, which was covered in ivy and seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. She knocked on the door, and Elowen answered with a warm, but mysterious smile. "How can I help you, dear?" she asked. Mira took a deep breath and said, "I've heard the story of the enchanted loom. I want to find it and see if the magic is real. Can you help me?" Elowen's eyes twinkled with a mix of surprise and approval. "The loom is hidden in a secret place, and only someone with a pure heart and a sharp mind can find it. If you truly wish to seek it, you must first complete 3 tasks that test your courage, kindness, and wisdom." Mira agreed eagerly, and Elowen handed her a small, ornate key and a map with strange symbols. "Follow the map, and you will find the tasks you need to complete." The map led Mira to the edge of the village and into the enchanted forest, a magical place known for its shifting paths and talking creatures. Her first task was to find the task of courage. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Mira came across a narrow bridge guarded by a fierce-looking dragon. The dragon was actually a gentle creature under a spell, and it roared to scare away intruders. Mira approached the dragon calmly and spoke to it with compassion. She learned that the dragon was protecting a magical flower that could only be retrieved by someone with a brave heart. Mira's courage and kind words broke the spell, and the dragon allowed her to pick the flower, which she placed carefully in her satchel. The next task was the task of kindness. Mira followed the map to a clearing where a family of rabbits was struggling to find food. The forest had become overgrown, making it difficult for them to find their usual nourishment. Mira used the magical flower's glow to light the way and cleared a path to a nearby meadow where the rabbits could find plenty of food. The grateful rabbits showed her the way to her next destination. The final task was the task of wisdom. Mira arrived at a stone archway with a puzzle inscribed on it. The puzzle was a series of symbols and riddles that needed to be solved to unlock the gate. Mira studied the symbols carefully and used her knowledge of the stories she had heard about the enchanted loom. With each correct answer, the archway symbols glowed brighter, and the gate slowly opened. Beyond the gate was a hidden chamber bathed in soft, golden light. At the center of the chamber stood the enchanted loom, its wooden frame intricately carved with magical runes. The loom was surrounded by vibrant threads of every color, shimmering as if alive. Mira approached the loom with awe. As she touched it, the loom began to weave a tapestry before her eyes. The tapestry depicted scenes of the village, its people, and the wonders of the enchanted forest. Mira realized that the loom's true magic was in its ability to bring people's dreams and desires to life through its weavings. With a heart full of gratitude, Mira returned to Eloan's shop and shared her adventure. Eloan was delighted and revealed that the loom had chosen Mira because of her pure heart and unwavering spirit. Mira's bravery, kindness, and wisdom had restored the loom's magic, and the village was once again filled with the enchantment of its beautiful tapestries. From then on, Mira and Eloan worked together to create magical tapestries that brought joy and wonder to the village. The enchanted loom became a symbol of the village's unity and the power of believing in the magic within one's heart. And so, the tale of Mira and the enchanted loom became a cherished story, teaching that with courage, kindness, and wisdom, one can uncover the greatest of treasures and bring magic into the world. The Princess and the Stonecutter. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between towering mountains and flowing rivers, there was a kind and just king who ruled with wisdom and grace. The king had a beautiful daughter named Princess Isla, who was loved by all for her gentle heart and adventurous spirit. Despite her royal duties, Isla often slipped away from the castle to explore the forests, mountains, and villages of the kingdom. She loved nothing more than to learn about the lives of her people and to help them in any way she could. One day, while exploring a remote village at the foot of the mountains, Princess Isla came across a young stonecutter named Rowan. He was strong and skilled, known throughout the village for his ability to shape even the hardest stone into works of art. But despite his talent, Rowan was humble and lived a simple life, working from dawn until dusk to support his family. As Isla watched Rowan work, she noticed something peculiar. Every time Rowan struck his chisel against the stone, a small spark of light would flash, as if the stone itself were alive. Intrigued, Isla approached Rowan and asked him about his craft. Rowan looked up from his work and smiled. "These stones are special, Princess," he said. "They come from the heart of the mountain, where it is said that ancient magic still lingers. When I carve them, I can sometimes feel that magic flowing through my hands." Isla was fascinated. She had heard stories of the ancient magic in the mountains, but she had never seen it for herself. "What do you do with the stones once you've shaped them?" she asked. "I make many things," Rowan replied. "Statues, pillars, and sometimes even jewelry. But the most important thing I carve is the heartstone." "The heartstone?" Isla echoed, curious. "What is that?" Rowan stood up and wiped the sweat from his brow. "The heartstone is a tradition in our village. Every year, I carve a special stone in the shape of a heart and place it at the center of the village square. It is believed that as long as the heartstone remains whole, our village will be protected from harm." Isla was moved by the story. "May I see the heartstone?" she asked. Rowan nodded and led Isla to the village square. In the center of the square stood a large stone heart, polished to a gleaming finish. It radiated a soft, warm light, and Isla could feel the magic within it. The villagers had decorated the square with flowers and ribbons, and children played around the heartstone, laughing and singing. "It's beautiful," Isla said, her voice filled with awe. "You've done a wonderful thing for your village, Rowan." Rowan smiled modestly. "It's not just my work, Princess. The heartstone is a symbol of our unity and strength. As long as we stand together, the stone will remain strong." Isla spent the rest of the day in the village, getting to know the people and learning more about their traditions. She was so impressed by the stonecutter's skill and the villagers' sense of community that she decided to return to the castle and tell her father about what she had seen. That evening, as Isla dined with her father, she told him all about Rowan and the Heartstone. The king listened intently, and when Isla had finished, he nodded thoughtfully. "It is clear that the young stonecutter has great talent," the king said. "But more importantly, he understands the value of unity and hard work. I would like to meet him." The next day, the king and Princess Isla traveled to the village to meet Rowan. The king was impressed by Rowan's humility and skill, and after hearing about the Heartstone, he made a decision. "Rowan," the king said, "would like to commission you to create a Heartstone for the entire kingdom. It will be placed in the grand square of the capital, where it will symbolize the unity and strength of all our people." Rowan was honored by the request but also overwhelmed. "Your Majesty, it would be a great honor, but the magic in the stones from our village is special. I'm not sure if it will work in the capital." The king smiled kindly. "I believe the magic lies not just in the stone, but in the hands and heart of the one who shapes it. You have the talent, and with your skill, I have no doubt that you can create a Heartstone worthy of the entire kingdom." Encouraged by the king's words, Rowan agreed to take on the task. He worked tirelessly for weeks, selecting the finest stones from the mountains and carefully carving them into the shape of a heart. As he worked, he could feel the magic flowing through his hands, just as it had before, but this time it was even stronger. It was as if the hopes and dreams of the entire kingdom were being infused into the stone. When the Heartstone was finally complete, it was even more magnificent than the one in the village. It shone with a bright, pure light, and when Rowan touched it, he felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. The king and Princess Isla were overjoyed and they saw the finished Heartstone. It was placed in the grand square of the capital, where people from all corners of the kingdom came to see it. The Heartstone became a symbol of the kingdom's unity, and it was said that as long as it remained whole, the kingdom would be safe from any harm. Rowan was hailed as a hero, but he remained humble, always reminding people that the true magic came from their unity and strength. Princess Isla and Rowan became close friends, and she often visited him in his village to see how he was doing and to learn more about his craft. As the years passed, the kingdom prospered, and the Heartstone remained a shining symbol of peace and unity. And though the people celebrated Rowan for his great work, he always insisted that it was the love and support of his fellow villagers, and the encouragement of a kind princess, that had made the magic possible. And so, the kingdom lived on in peace and harmony, protected by the magic of the Heartstone and the unity of its people. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a land where twilight reigned and the sky was always a canvas of soft, shimmering colors, there was a peaceful kingdom named Luminera. The kingdom was known for its magnificent stars, which sparkled like diamonds in the night sky. Every evening, the people of Luminera would gather to marvel at the stars' beauty, for it was said that the stars were guided by a magical artifact called the Lantern of the Lost Stars. The lantern was a beautiful, ornate lamp that hung in the highest tower of the royal castle. It was said to be crafted by the ancient stargazers and had the power to keep the stars bright and clear. However, one day, the lantern's light began to fade, and the once brilliant stars dimmed to mere pinpricks of light. The kingdom's joy and prosperity seemed to diminish along with the stars, and the people grew increasingly worried. The wise King Orion, ruler of Luminera, knew that the only way to restore the star's brilliance was to find the lantern's missing star crystal. He declared that anyone who could bring back the crystal and restore the lantern's light would be honored beyond measure. Many tried, but none succeeded. In a humble cottage at the edge of the kingdom lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had a kind heart and a deep love for the stars. Hearing about the lantern's plight, she felt a calling to embark on a quest to find the missing star crystal and restore the light to her beloved kingdom. The first challenge, the Whispering Forest. Lyra's journey began in the Whispering Forest, a dense and magical woodland where the trees whispered ancient secrets and tales. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a low branch, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. To pass through the Whispering Forest, the owl said, "You must solve this riddle. I have cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, and water but no fish. What am I? Lyra thought carefully and answered, a map. The owl's eyes sparkled with approval. And it hooted happily. Follow the path illuminated by the moonlight, and it will lead you to the next challenge. The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Lyra followed the moonlit path to the River of Reflections, a serene river with crystal clear waters that mirrored the sky and the surrounding trees. The river was guarded by a graceful swan with feathers that sparkled like stardust. To cross this river, the swan said, you must answer this question. What can be cracked, made, told, and played? Lyra pondered the question and replied, a joke. The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a bridge of light across the river. Lyra crossed the river, feeling more determined and hopeful. The third challenge, the Cave of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Lyra entered the Cave of Echoes, a grand cavern filled with glowing crystals that reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. At the center of the cave stood an ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A gentle voice echoed through the cavern. To unlock this door and find the star crystal, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with pure intentions. Lyra took a deep breath and spoke from her heart, my deepest wish is to restore the light of the lantern of the lost stars, so that my kingdom can once again be filled with joy and wonder. The cave's walls shimmered with a soft, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the starred crystal in a radiant glow. The revelation, restoring the lantern. With the star crystal in hand, Lyra made her way back to the royal castle. She carefully placed the crystal into the lantern of the lost stars, and as she did, the lantern burst forth with a brilliant, golden light. The stars in the sky shimmered brightly once more, casting their radiant glow over the kingdom of Luminera. The people of Luminera gathered in awe as the stars illuminated the night sky, their brilliance restored by the star crystal. The kingdom's joy and prosperity were rekindled. And King Orion praised Lyra for her bravery and selflessness. The tale of Lyra's quest became a cherished story in Luminera, a testament to the power of determination and the importance of a pure heart. Under the renewed light of the lantern, the kingdom thrived in harmony and wonder, forever grateful to the young girl who had restored their starry skies. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom called Valoria, there was a village nestled in the shadow of the misty mountains. The villagers lived in harmony, surrounded by lush forests and crystal-clear streams. In the heart of the village stood a grand castle, home to King Alaric and his daughter, Princess Evelina. Princess Evelina was known throughout the land for her kindness and her adventurous spirit. She loved to explore the forests, help the villagers, and listen to the stories of the kingdom's wise old storyteller, Granny Willow. Granny Willow's tales of magic and adventure always filled Evelina with wonder, but there was one story that captivated her more than any other, the legend of the enchanted locket and the dragon's heart. According to the legend, the enchanted locket was a magical artifact that could grant its wearer immense power and wisdom. The locket was said to contain the dragon's heart, a gem of unimaginable strength, created by the first dragon of Valoria. However, the locket had been lost for centuries, hidden somewhere in the misty mountains, guarded by an ancient dragon named Zephyra. One crisp autumn evening, as Evelina listened to Granny Willow recount the legend once more, she felt a surge of determination. I will find the enchanted locket and bring it back to Valoria, she declared. With its power, we can ensure peace and prosperity for our kingdom. Granny Willow smiled, her eyes twinkling. It is a dangerous quest, my dear. But if anyone can succeed, it is you. Remember, true strength lies not in power, but in the purity of your heart. The next morning, Evelina set off on her journey. She packed a small satchel with provisions, a map of the kingdom, and a locket that had belonged to her mother, a token of love and courage. As she ventured into the misty mountains, she encountered many challenges. The paths were treacherous, the winds howled fiercely, and the air grew colder with each step. After several days, Evelina reached the entrance of a dark cave, where she encountered a clever fox named Felix. "Greetings, princess," said Felix, bowing his head. "I am the guardian of this cave. What brings you here? I seek the enchanted locket, Evelina replied, her voice unwavering. I must find it to help my kingdom. Felix studied her with his sharp eyes and nodded. Very well. I will guide you through the cave, but you must prove your worth by solving my riddle. Evelina nodded, ready for the challenge. Felix recited his riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Evelina thought for a moment, then smiled. An echo. Felix grinned. Correct, princess. Follow me. The clever fox led Evelina through the winding tunnels of the cave. They crossed underground rivers, climbed over rocky ledges, and finally emerged into a vast cavern. At the center of the cavern lay a massive dragon, her scales shimmering in shades of blue and silver. Zephyra opened one eye and regarded Evelina with curiosity. Who dares to enter my domain? I am Princess Evelina of Valoria, she replied, stepping forward. I seek the enchanted locket to bring peace to my kingdom. Zephyra's eyes glinted with ancient wisdom. Many have sought the locket, but few have the heart to wield its power. You must prove yourself by facing the trial of the heart. With a wave of her massive claw, Zephyra conjured a glowing portal. Evelina took a deep breath and stepped through, finding herself in a magical realm filled with challenges. She faced trials that tested her courage, her kindness, and her wisdom. She helped a lost child find their way home, healed a wounded deer, and solved puzzles that required both intellect and compassion. After completing the trials, Evelina found herself back in the cavern. Zephyra nodded approvingly. You have proven your worth, princess. The enchanted locket is yours. Zephyra revealed a hidden alcove where the locket lay, glowing with a soft, golden light. Evelina carefully picked it up, feeling its warmth and power. Thank you, Zephyra. I will use this gift wisely. With the locket in hand, Evelina returned to Valoria. The villagers and King Alaric welcomed her with cheers and tears of joy. Using the power of the dragon's heart, Evelina brought prosperity and harmony to the kingdom. Crops flourished, rivers flowed abundantly, and the people lived in peace. The legend of the enchanted locket and the dragon's heart became a cherished story, told by Granny Willow to future generations. Princess Evelina's bravery and wisdom were celebrated throughout the land, and Valoria thrived under her benevolent rule. And so, in the shadow of the misty mountains, where the stars shone brightly and the dragons watched over the land, the kingdom of Valoria lived happily ever after, forever grateful to their courageous princess. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between misty mountains and a sparkling river, there lived a kind old woman named Agnes. Agnes was known throughout the village for her warm heart and her collection of beautiful lanterns. Each lantern was unique, with intricate designs that seemed to come alive when lit. One evening, as the village prepared for the annual Festival of Lights, Agnes discovered that her most treasured lantern, a delicate creation adorned with shimmering jewels and golden filigree, was missing. This lantern was said to hold a magical glow that could reveal hidden truths and bring hope to those in despair. Desperate to find her lantern before the festival, Agnes asked her neighbor, a curious young girl named Lily, for help. Lily was always eager for an adventure, and she agreed to assist Agnes in the search. The two of them set out into the forest, where Agnes had last seen the lantern. The forest was filled with the sounds of chirping crickets and rustling leaves. As they ventured deeper, they came across a wise old owl perched on a gnarled branch. Have you seen a lantern with a magical glow? Lily asked the owl. The owl hooted thoughtfully. To find what you seek, you must first follow the path of the moonlight and solve the riddle of the forest. The owl presented them with a riddle. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Lily thought for a moment and answered, a map. The owl nodded and directed them to a hidden glade where the moonlight cast a soft, silver glow. In the center of the glade stood an ancient stone pedestal with a second riddle inscribed upon it. The riddle read, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Agnes and Lily pondered the riddle, and Lily finally guessed, footsteps. The pedestal shifted, revealing a narrow path that led them to a magical clearing bathed in moonlight. There, they discovered a small, sparkling stream with water that seemed to twinkle like stardust. On a rock beside the stream sat the missing lantern, glowing with an ethereal light. However, as they approached, a mischievous forest sprite appeared. "That lantern is mine now," the sprite declared, clutching the lantern tightly. "I found it and wanted to keep it for myself." Lily stepped forward bravely. "We only seek to return it to its rightful owner, so it can bring light and joy to others." The sprite looked at Lily with a curious expression. "Prove that you truly deserve this lantern by showing me the light in your heart." Lily, with her pure and genuine spirit, began to speak about her love for her village and her desire to help others. Her words were filled with warmth and sincerity, and the sprite could feel the truth in her heart. "You have shown great kindness and selflessness," the sprite said, handing the lantern back to Lily. "May this lantern guide you and bring light to those in need." With the lantern safely in hand, Agnes and Lily made their way back to the village just in time for the Festival of Lights. As the lantern was lit and placed at the center of the village square, its magical glow filled the night sky with a brilliant, soothing light. The villagers gathered around, awed by the lantern's beauty and the sense of hope it brought. The festival was a great success, and the villagers celebrated not only the return of the magical lantern but also the bravery and kindness of Lily and Agnes. The story of their adventure became a cherished tale in the village, a reminder of the power of light, kindness, and the courage to seek what is right. And so, the village of the Festival of Lights continued to shine brightly, thanks to the enchanted lantern and the heartwarming tale of a young girl and her kind friend. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the seas, there was a hidden kingdom called Elaria. This kingdom was known for its stunning beauty, with lush forests, sparkling rivers, and mountains that reached the heavens. But what made Elaria truly special was its guardian, a mystical dragon named Zephyra, who protected the land with her powerful magic. The people of Elaria lived in harmony, and their queen, Queen Seraphina, was beloved by all. She was wise and kind, always putting her people's needs above her own. The source of her wisdom and strength was a magical amulet called the Heart of Elaria, a gift from Zephyra. The amulet had the power to ensure peace and prosperity, but it could only be wielded by a pure heart. One dark night, a sorcerer named Malgath, driven by envy and greed, infiltrated the kingdom. Disguised as a humble traveler, he charmed his way into the palace and managed to steal the heart of Elaria. Without its power, the kingdom began to wither. The rivers dried up, crops failed, and the once lush forests turned barren. Queen Seraphina fell into a deep sleep, cursed by Malgatha's dark magic. The people of Elaria were desperate and lost without their queen. In a small village on the outskirts of the kingdom lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was known for her courage and her unwavering belief in the goodness of people. She had always dreamed of meeting Queen Seraphina and Zephyra, the legendary dragon. When she heard of the queen's plight, she knew she had to do something. Determined to save her kingdom, Arya set off on a journey to find Zephyra. She traveled through the dying forests and across the barren fields until she reached the Dragon's Peak, where Zephyra resided. The climb was steep and treacherous, but Arya's determination never wavered. At the peak, she found Zephyra, her scales shimmering like emeralds in the moonlight. The dragon's eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, looked down at Arya. "Why have you come, brave one?" Zephyra asked, her voice resonating with power. "Great Zephyra, I seek your help to save our queen and restore the heart of Elaria," Arya replied, bowing deeply. Zephyra studied Arya for a moment. "Your heart is pure, and your intentions are noble. I will help you, but the journey will be dangerous. Malgath has hidden the heart of Elaria in the dark forest, guarded by his minions. You must retrieve it and break the curse." Arya nodded, her resolve unwavering. Zephyra breathed a plume of sparkling mist, enveloping Arya. "This mist will protect you from Malgatha's dark magic," Zephyra said. "Go now, and may courage guide your path." With Zephyra's blessing, Arya ventured into the dark forest. The trees were twisted and gnarled, and the air was thick with an eerie silence. She encountered many challenges, from deceptive illusions to fierce creatures, but the protective mist shielded her from harm. At the heart of the forest, she found Malgatha's lair. The sorcerer, cloaked in darkness, stood guard over the heart of Elaria. "Foolish girl," he sneered. "You think you can defeat me?" Arya stood tall, her voice steady. "I do not fear you, Malgath. I fight for Elaria and our queen." Malgath laughed, sending waves of dark magic towards her. But Zephyra's mist shielded Arya, allowing her to move forward. With a swift motion, she snatched the heart of Elaria from its pedestal. The amulet glowed brightly, and Malgatha's power began to wane. "No!" Malgath roared, but it was too late. The heart of Elaria's magic, reawakened by Arya's pure heart, repelled him. Defeated, the sorcerer vanished into the shadows. With the heart of Elaria in hand, Arya raced back to the kingdom. As she approached the palace, the land began to heal. Rivers flowed once more, flowers bloomed, and the air was filled with the songs of birds. She entered the queen's chamber and placed the amulet around Queen Seraphina's neck. The queen awoke, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, brave Arya," Queen Seraphina said. "You have saved Elaria and restored hope to our people." Zephyra appeared beside them, her eyes full of pride. "Arya, your courage and purity have brought light back to our land. You are a true hero." The people of Elaria rejoiced, celebrating Arya's bravery and the return of their queen. Peace and prosperity were restored, and the legend of Arya's courage spread far and wide. She became a beacon of hope, inspiring others to believe in the power of a pure heart. And so, Elaria thrived once more, forever grateful to the young girl who saved their kingdom with her courage and love. The end. In the heart of a quaint, timeless village surrounded by rolling hills and misty forests, there was a small, charming clock shop known as the Enchanted Timepiece. The shop was run by an elderly clockmaker named Master Horus, whose reputation for creating magnificent clocks was known far and wide. Each clock he crafted had a touch of magic, ensuring that time seemed to flow just a little more smoothly around them. Master Horus had an apprentice named Theo, a bright and eager young man with a deep fascination for clockwork and a boundless curiosity. Theo admired Master Horus immensely and spent his days learning the intricate art of clockmaking. He was especially drawn to an old, mysterious clock in the shop's backroom, covered in dust and forgotten for years. It was an elaborate grandfather clock with intricate carvings of stars and moons and a peculiar inscription on its face: "When the moon's light dances, a secret shall be unveiled." One evening, as the full moon cast its silvery glow over the village, Master Horus entrusted Theo with a special task. "Tonight is the night of the moon's dance," Master Horus said, his eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. "I need you to prepare the shop for the festival, but remember, the grandfather clock in the backroom is special. Its magic can only be awakened during the moon's dance. Pay attention to the moonlight." Theo eagerly agreed, and as the moonlight poured into the shop, he busied himself with preparations. When he finished, he couldn't resist the temptation to examine the old grandfather clock more closely. As the moonlight streamed through the shop's windows, it illuminated the clock's carvings in a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. Theo noticed something extraordinary. The moonlight seemed to weave patterns on the clock's surface, making the stars and moons appear to shimmer and shift. Curiosity piqued, Theo carefully adjusted the clock's hands to match the phases of the moon, as indicated on the inscription. As the moonlight reached its peak, the clock's face began to glow softly. Theo's heart raced with excitement as he heard a faint, melodious chime emanate from the clock. He watched in awe as the clock's hands moved on their own, aligning with the intricate carvings, and a hidden compartment slowly revealed itself. Inside the compartment was a delicate silver key and a scroll tied with a golden ribbon. Theo unrolled the scroll, which read, "To find the heart of the clock, seek the moon's reflection where shadows lie. The key shall guide you to where secrets hide." Following the scroll's instructions, Theo carried the silver key and ventured outside into the moonlit night. he walked to the edge of the village, where a small, ancient stone bridge spanned a gentle stream. The moon's reflection danced upon the water, casting delicate shadows on the bridge's surface. Theo noticed a peculiar pattern of shadows and reflections on the bridge that seemed to match the carvings on the grandfather clock. With a sense of wonder, he carefully placed the silver key into a hidden keyhole he discovered in the stone. As he turned the key, a hidden panel in the bridge opened, revealing a small, hidden chamber beneath. Inside the chamber was a beautifully crafted golden heart-shaped locket. Theo carefully lifted the locket and felt a surge of warmth and light. The locket contained a tiny, enchanted clock that seemed to beat with a gentle, rhythmic pulse. As Theo held the locket, he felt a deep sense of calm and understanding. The locket's magic was not only about time but also about the harmony between moments and memories. It was a reminder that time, though fleeting, could be cherished and savored. Theo returned to the shop with the locket and showed Master Horace. The old clockmaker's eyes widened with pride and joy. "You have unlocked the true magic of the grandfather clock," Master Horace said, his voice filled with emotion. "The locket represents the heart of time, a symbol of the beauty and harmony that time can bring to our lives." With the discovery of the locket, Theo and Master Horace crafted a special clock to commemorate the moon's dance festival, incorporating the locket's magic into its design. The clock became a cherished centerpiece of the festival, symbolizing the timeless bond between moments and memories. Theo's understanding of clockmaking deepened, and he continued to create wondrous timepieces that captured the essence of the world's beauty and magic. The village celebrated the moon's dance festival every year, honoring the enchanted clock and the apprentice who unlocked its secret. And so, the legacy of the clockmaker's apprentice lived on, reminding everyone that time, with all its mysteries and magic, could be a source of wonder and joy, and that the heart of time beat within the moments we cherished most. Once upon a time, in the heart of a mystical land called Eldoria, there was a charming village known as Rosewood. Rosewood was renowned for its fragrant roses that bloomed year-round, filling the air with their sweet scent. The villagers were kind-hearted and lived peacefully, but their tranquil life was often disrupted by the fear of an ancient curse said to lie in the forbidden forest at the edge of the village. At the center of Rosewood lived a spirited young girl named Arya. Arya had a wild curiosity and an adventurous spirit, which often led her into the forest despite the warnings of the elders. Her best friend was a wise old owl named Sage, who had a knack for solving riddles and loved sharing ancient lore. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the outskirts of the forbidden forest, Arya and Sage discovered an old, tattered map hidden inside a hollow tree. The map detailed a path through the forest leading to the legendary Crystal of Eternity, a gem of immense power said to break any curse. Knowing the crystal could bring lasting peace to Rosewood, Arya decided to embark on the quest to find it. With Sage perched on her shoulder, Arya followed the map into the forest. The trees were tall and dense, casting long shadows that danced in the dappled sunlight. As they ventured deeper, they encountered their first challenge, a series of gigantic, enchanted thorn bushes blocking their path. The thorns shimmered with a strange, magical aura. Suddenly, a graceful deer appeared, its eyes filled with wisdom. "To pass through the thorns, you must solve my riddle," the deer said softly. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, and I can drown. What am I?" Arya pondered for a moment and then replied, "You are fire." The deer nodded approvingly, and the enchanted thorns parted, revealing a clear path. Arya and Sage continued their journey, arriving at a tranquil glade where a sparkling brook babbled merrily. Guarding the brook was a beautiful swan with feathers as white as snow. "To cross the brook, you must show kindness," the swan said. "Bring life back to this wilted flower." She gestured to a drooping blossom on the bank. Arya knelt by the flower and gently cupped it in her hands. She sang a soft, melodic tune, just as her mother had taught her, and the flower began to revive, its petals unfurling and its color returning. The swan smiled and spread its wings, creating a bridge of shimmering water lilies for Arya and Sage to cross. Their final challenge awaited them in a moonlit clearing, where an ancient, gnarled tree stood. In the tree's hollow, a faint glow indicated the presence of the Crystal of Eternity. However, as Arya reached for it, a dark shadow materialized. It was the sorcerer Malachar, who had cast the curse on the forest long ago and now sought the crystal's power for himself. "You dare to claim the crystal?" Malachar snarled, his eyes blazing with fury. "It belongs to me." Arya stood her ground, her heart pounding but her spirit unwavering. "The crystal belongs to those who seek to use its power for good," she declared. "You have no right to it." Malachar raised his staff, ready to strike with dark magic, but Sage swooped down and snatched the staff from his grasp. In the confusion, Arya seized the crystal and held it high. A brilliant light burst forth, dispelling the shadows and breaking Malachar's hold on the forest. With the crystal's magic, Arya made a wish for the curse to be lifted and for peace to return to Rosewood. The light from the crystal enveloped the forest, healing the land and restoring it to its former beauty. Malachar, defeated and powerless, vanished into the depths of the forest. Arya and Sage returned to Rosewood as heroes. The villagers celebrated their bravery, and the Crystal of Eternity was placed in a special shrine where its magic could continue to protect the village. Arya's name became a legend, inspiring generations to come with her courage and compassion. And so, the village of Rosewood thrived under the watchful eyes of its brave young hero, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering river, there was a mysterious grove known only to the most adventurous of souls. This grove was said to be enchanted, its magic visible only to those with pure hearts. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She was known for her bravery and compassion, often helping the villagers with their troubles. Despite her gentle nature, she had always been wary of the enchanted grove, for tales of strange creatures and hidden wonders surrounded it. One bright autumn morning, as Elara tended her garden, a soft voice called out to her from the direction of the grove. Startled, she looked up to see a small, shimmering figure standing at the edge of the forest. It was a fairy with iridescent wings and a twinkling smile. "Greetings, Elara," the fairy said. "I am Lumina, the guardian of the enchanted grove. I have been watching over you and see the goodness in your heart. Our grove is in trouble, and only someone like you can help us." Elara's curiosity overcame her fear. "How can I assist you?" Lumina's eyes sparkled with gratitude. "The grove is losing its magic. A dark sorcerer named Morcar has stolen the Heartstone, the source of our enchantment. Without it, our home is fading away. We need your help to retrieve it." Elara agreed without hesitation, feeling a sense of purpose. Lumina led her to the edge of the grove where an ancient oak stood, its branches glowing faintly. The fairy handed Elara a silver locket. "This locket will guide you through the grove. Trust in its magic." With the locket in hand, Elara stepped into the grove. The trees seemed to whisper as she walked, their leaves rustling in a language only she could understand. The path twisted and turned, but the locket's gentle glow kept her on course. As she ventured deeper, Elara encountered various magical creatures, playful sprites, wise old owls, and even a grumpy troll who guarded a rickety bridge. Each creature offered her a clue or a piece of advice. And Elara listened with patience and respect. At last, she reached a clearing where a dark, foreboding tower stood. Morcar's lair. The Heartstone's magic was faint, but it pulsed with a soft, rhythmic glow. Elara took a deep breath and approached the tower. Inside, Morcar sat on a throne made of shadows, clutching the Heartstone. His eyes glowed with malevolence. "Who dares to challenge me?" he roared, his voice echoing through the cold chamber. Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding but her spirit unwavering. "I am Elara, and I come to return what you have stolen." Morcar sneered. "You are brave, but bravery alone will not be enough. You must face my trials to prove your worth." He conjured 3 trials, a labyrinth of illusions, a sea of enchanted mist, and a riddle spoken by a dragon. Elara faced each challenge with courage and wisdom. The labyrinth unraveled when she recognized the true path through her own reflection, the mist parted when she spoke from her heart, and the dragon's riddle was solved by remembering the kindness she had shown to others. Impressed by her resolve, Morker's heart began to soften. He realized that his own heart had hardened over the years, and he was moved by Elara's purity and determination. Perhaps, Morcar said slowly, I have been wrong. The Heartstone does not belong to me, but to the grove it protects. You may take it. Elara accepted the Heartstone with a humble nod. As she left the tower, the grove's magic began to swirl around her, its vibrant colors and soothing melodies filling the air. The Heartstone was returned to its rightful place, and the enchantment of the grove was restored. Lumina and the other magical creatures welcomed Elara with joy and gratitude. The grove flourished anew, its beauty more radiant than ever. As a token of their appreciation, the fairy granted Elara a single wish. Elara wished for the grove's magic to always be a beacon of hope and kindness for all who sought its wonders. Her wish was granted, and the enchanted grove became a place where dreams and deeds of goodness intertwined. From that day on, Elara visited the grove often, not as a visitor but as a cherished friend. And the grove, in turn, continued to watch over the village and its kind-hearted inhabitants, ensuring that its magic lived on through acts of bravery and love. And so, the enchanted tale of Elara and the magical grove became a legend, reminding all who heard it that true magic lies in the heart of those who dare to be kind and courageous. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and lush meadows, there lived a skilled clockmaker named Mr. Thorn. His shop was filled with intricate timepieces that ticked and talked in harmony. Among these was a mysterious clock that never seemed to tick quite right. It was said to be a magical clock with a secret that could only be unlocked by someone with a pure heart. Mr. Thorn had an apprentice named Eleanor, a bright and curious young woman with a love for clockmaking. She had been working alongside Mr. Thorn for many years, learning the art of crafting timepieces and understanding the delicate mechanisms that made them work. Despite her skill, Eleanor had always been intrigued by the old clock and its mysterious nature. One crisp autumn evening, as the golden leaves danced in the breeze, Mr. Thorn fell ill. He knew that Eleanor was ready to take on more responsibility, so he entrusted her with the care of his shop and, most importantly, the secret of the old clock. Eleanor, he said, the time has come for you to uncover the mystery of the old clock. It has a magic that has been waiting for the right person to set it free. I believe you have the heart to do so. Eleanor accepted the challenge with determination. She studied the old clock closely, noting its ornate carvings and the delicate, intricate gears that lay hidden behind its face. The clock had no hands and no numbers, only a shimmering, star-shaped design in the center. Despite her efforts, the clock remained still, offering no clues. One night, as the full moon cast a silvery glow over the village, Eleanor decided to stay up and work on the clock. As she tinkered with it, she noticed a faint, melodic hum coming from its inner workings. The sound was soothing and rhythmic, like a lullaby. Determined to unlock the clock's secret, Eleanor followed the melody, which seemed to guide her hands as she adjusted the gears and springs. The clock's star-shaped design began to glow softly, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside the compartment was a small, ornate key with an inscription: "To find the heart of the clock, listen to its song." Eleanor realized that the clock's magic was linked to its melody. She listened closely to the hum and found that each part of the clock seemed to have its own unique note. By carefully tuning the gears to match the melody, the clock began to resonate with a harmonious sound. As Eleanor worked, the clock's star-shaped design illuminated brightly, and the room was filled with a warm, golden light. Suddenly, the clock's face began to transform, revealing a beautiful, sparkling scene of a magical kingdom where time flowed like a gentle river. From the heart of the clock emerged a tiny, golden figure, a magical timekeeper. The timekeeper spoke in a voice as soft as the wind. "Thank you for unlocking the heart of the clock. You have shown patience, skill, and a pure heart. As a reward, I shall grant you one wish." Eleanor thought of her village, which had faced many hardships due to a recent storm. She wished for prosperity and joy for her fellow villagers, hoping to bring them some relief and happiness. The timekeeper nodded and granted her wish. The magical light from the clock spread throughout the village, touching every home and field. The crops began to flourish, and the village was soon filled with abundance and joy. When Mr. Thorne recovered, he was overjoyed to see the transformation in the village. Eleanor shared her adventure with him, and he was immensely proud of her. The old clock continued to tick and talk in perfect harmony, its magic now a cherished part of the village. From that day on, Eleanor became a renowned clockmaker, known not only for her skill but also for her kindness and the magic she had unlocked. The tale of the clockmaker's apprentice and the magical clock was passed down through generations, reminding everyone of the power of patience, skill, and a heart full of hope. And so, the village thrived, and the old clock stood as a symbol of the magic that lies within a kind and determined heart. Once upon a time, in a land where the sun always seemed to shine and the river sparkled like diamonds, there was a small village named Eldoria. Nestled at the edge of a vast and mysterious forest, the villagers spoke often of the Forest of Whispering Leaves. It was said that the forest held many secrets, and the trees could speak in hushed tones, sharing ancient wisdom with those who listened. In Eldoria lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She had always been drawn to the forest, her curiosity piqued by the tales of magic and mystery. One day, as she was walking by the edge of the forest, she heard a faint whispering among the trees. The whispers seemed to call her name, and she could not resist the urge to step into the forest to uncover its secrets. As Elara entered the Forest of Whispering Leaves, she marveled at the tall, majestic trees with their silver leaves that shimmered in the dappled sunlight. The forest seemed alive with enchantment, and the leaves rustled softly as if sharing stories from long ago. The deeper Elara ventured, the more she felt as if the forest was guiding her. Suddenly, she came upon a clearing where an ancient oak tree stood. Its trunk was wide and gnarled, and its branches were adorned with glowing, golden leaves. At the base of the tree, a small, delicate door was nestled between the roots. The door was carved with intricate patterns, and a gentle glow emanated from it. Elara hesitated for a moment but then mustered the courage to open the door. Inside, she found a cozy chamber with walls lined with shelves full of shimmering bottles and scrolls. In the center of the room sat a wise old owl with feathers that sparkled like stardust. The owl's eyes were deep and knowing, and he introduced himself as Oswin, the guardian of the forest. Oswin explained that the forest was in danger. A powerful sorceress named Morgana had cast a spell to drain the forest of its magic, turning its vibrant life into a shadow of its former self. The forest needed someone pure of heart and brave of spirit to restore its magic by finding and reawakening 3 ancient artifacts hidden within the forest. Elara agreed to help Oswin, and he provided her with a magical map that would guide her on her quest. The map was adorned with glowing symbols that would reveal the path to each artifact. The first artifact, the Heartstone, was hidden in the Caves of Echoes. These caves were known for their haunting whispers and tricky illusions. Elara bravely entered the dark caves, relying on her intuition to navigate the twisting passages. She followed the sound of a faint, melodic tune and found the Heartstone nestled in a hidden chamber. The stone pulsed with a warm, soothing light, and Elara felt its magic begin to flow through her. The second artifact, the Moonlit Pendant, was located atop the Tower of Stars, which was guarded by a series of challenging puzzles. Elara climbed the tower, solving each puzzle with cleverness and patience. At the top, she found the Moonlit Pendant, a beautiful necklace that glowed with the soft light of the moon. Its light filled the tower with a calming glow, and Elara knew it was a powerful artifact. The final artifact, the Ember Flame, was hidden in the Enchanted Grove, a place where time seemed to stand still. The grove was filled with dancing fireflies and shimmering fire blossoms. Elara searched for the Ember Flame, which was said to be hidden within the heart of the grove. She followed a trail of glowing flowers and found the Ember Flame, a fiery gem that radiated warmth and strength. With all 3 artifacts in hand, Elara returned to the ancient oak tree and placed the Heartstone, Moonlit Pendant, and Ember Flame in their designated spots around the tree. As she did, a brilliant light burst forth, and the forest began to glow with renewed magic. The tree's leaves shimmered, the river sparkled, and the forest was alive once more. Morgana, the sorceress, appeared, her dark magic fading as the forest's enchantment returned. Elara's bravery and pure heart had undone the sorceress's spell, and Morgana was banished from the forest forever. Oswin thanked Elara and gifted her a small, silver leaf as a token of gratitude. "This leaf will always remind you of the magic within the Forest of Whispering Leaves," he said. "And should you ever need guidance, the forest will be here for you." Elara returned to Eldoria, her heart filled with joy and her spirit enriched by the adventure. She shared her story with the villagers, and the tale of the Forest of Whispering Leaves became a cherished legend in Eldoria. The forest continued to thrive, its whispers a gentle reminder of the bravery and kindness that had restored its magic. And so, Elara's legacy lived on, inspiring others to seek out the magic in their own hearts and to cherish the wonder of the world around them. In the kingdom of Eldoria, surrounded by rolling hills and lush meadows, there was a village renowned for its vibrant flowers and rich harvests. The village was protected by a grand castle where the royal family lived. The queen, known for her wisdom and kindness, had a daughter named Princess Lyra. Princess Lyra was loved by everyone for her gentle nature and curious spirit. One day, while exploring the castle grounds, Princess Lyra stumbled upon an old, ivy-covered door hidden behind a thicket of roses. The door was ornate and covered in intricate carvings of mythical creatures and flowers. Curiosity piqued, Lyra tried to open the door, but it was locked tight. Determined to discover what lay beyond, Lyra sought out the castle's elderly gardener, Old Man Bram. Bram had been tending to the castle's gardens for as long as anyone could remember. When Lyra asked him about the mysterious door, he looked at her with a wistful expression and said, "The door leads to the secret garden of Eldoria. A place of great magic and beauty. But it has been sealed for many years, and only a heart full of pure intentions can unlock it." Intrigued, Lyra decided she would unlock the door and uncover the secrets of the hidden garden. She spent her days learning about the garden's lore from Old Man Bram and reading ancient books in the castle's library. According to the legends, the secret garden held a powerful, ancient magic that could heal any ailment and bring peace to the land. One moonlit night, when the stars were especially bright, Lyra returned to the hidden door with a heart full of hope and a key she had found in an old chest. The key was said to be the one that could unlock the garden's magic. She gently inserted the key into the lock, and with a soft click, the door creaked open. Beyond the door was a breathtaking sight, a garden filled with luminous flowers of every color imaginable, trees that seemed to sing with the wind, and a crystal-clear pond that sparkled like diamonds. The air was filled with a sweet fragrance and the gentle hum of magic. As Lyra wandered through the garden, she noticed a small, withered tree in the center of the garden, its branches bare and its leaves fallen. She remembered the tales about a special flower that could revive even the most wilted plant. According to the legends, this flower was known as the heart blossom. Lyra searched the garden, her eyes scanning for the elusive heart blossom. After what felt like hours, she found it, a delicate flower with petals of shimmering gold, nestled among the vibrant blooms. She carefully picked the heart blossom and returned to the withered tree. Holding the flower close, Lyra whispered a heartfelt wish for the garden's revival. As she placed the heart blossom at the base of the tree, its petals began to glow with a warm, golden light. The tree's branches started to bud, and soon, it was covered in lush, green leaves and colorful flowers. The garden seemed to come alive, its magic restoring its former splendor. The garden's magic spread beyond its walls, reaching the village and healing the land. Crops flourished, the river ran clear, and the villagers were filled with joy and prosperity. Lyra's act of kindness and her pure heart had brought the garden's magic back to life. The secret garden of Eldoria became a cherished place where people would come to seek solace and inspiration. Princess Lyra continued to visit the garden, her heart always open to the magic and wonder it held. The village prospered under the renewed magic, and Lyra's story of bravery and kindness was passed down through generations. And so, in the kingdom of Eldoria, the secret garden remained a symbol of hope and renewal, forever nurtured by the love and purity of a princess's heart. Once upon a time, in a village nestled at the edge of an enchanted forest, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a special gift: she could weave dreams into beautiful tapestries. Every night, she would sit by her loom, and as she wove, the dreams she captured would come to life in shimmering threads of gold and silver. The villagers adored Mira's tapestries. They brought hope and joy, filling their homes with dreams of adventure, peace, and wonder. But there was one dream that Mira had never been able to weave: the dream of the Starlight Weaver, an ancient legend that spoke of a magical tapestry woven from the light of the stars. One evening, as Mira worked by the light of a crescent moon, she heard a soft whisper in the wind. "Seek the Starlight Weaver, and your greatest dream shall come true." Determined to unravel the mystery, Mira set out the next morning to find the legendary Starlight Weaver. She ventured into the enchanted forest, guided by the whispers of the wind and the sparkle of the twilight. The forest was alive with magic. Glowing fireflies danced around her, and trees whispered secrets of old. After walking for hours, Mira reached a clearing where a magnificent tree stood, its branches adorned with twinkling lights that shimmered like stars. At the base of the tree was a small door. Mira knocked gently, and the door creaked open to reveal a cozy room filled with threads of every color imaginable. At the loom sat an elderly woman with silver hair and eyes like stardust. She was the Starlight Weaver. "Welcome, Mira," the Starlight Weaver said warmly. "I have been expecting you." Mira's heart skipped a beat. "You know my name?" The Starlight Weaver smiled. "I know of your gift and your quest. You seek to weave the tapestry of starlight." Mira nodded. "Yes. I want to weave a dream that will bring hope and wonder to the world." The Starlight Weaver gestured to a loom covered in threads of pure, shimmering light. "To weave the tapestry of starlight, you must gather the light of 5 different stars: the star of hope, the star of courage, the star of joy, the star of wisdom, and the star of love." Mira's eyes widened. "But how will I find them?" The Starlight Weaver handed her a small, enchanted compass. "This compass will guide you to each star. Follow its light, and it will lead you to your destination." With a heart full of hope, Mira set out on her quest. The compass glowed softly, guiding her through the forest and beyond. Her first stop was the Mountain of Hope. There, Mira climbed to the highest peak and found a star shining brightly in the morning sky. It was the Star of Hope. As she touched it, the star's light infused her with a sense of determination. Next, Mira traveled to the Valley of Courage, where the winds howled fiercely. She faced the trials of the valley, showing bravery and strength. At the end of her journey, she discovered the Star of Courage, which bathed her in a warm, encouraging glow. In the Meadow of Joy, Mira danced with the playful fairies and sang with the birds. The Star of Joy twinkled overhead. And as Mira reached out, its light filled her with a sense of boundless happiness. The 4th star was hidden in the Forest of Wisdom, where Mira solved riddles and learned ancient truths from wise old creatures. At the heart of the forest, she found the Star of Wisdom, its light shimmering with profound insight. Finally, Mira ventured to the heart of the enchanted lake, where the Star of Love floated gently on the water. As she touched the star, its light embraced her with a deep, comforting warmth. With all 5 stars collected, Mira returned to the Starlight Weaver. The old woman guided her in weaving the magical tapestry. Mira worked tirelessly, her loom glowing with the combined light of the stars. The tapestry took shape, a breathtaking work of art that shimmered with hope, courage, joy, wisdom, and love. When the tapestry was complete, the Starlight Weaver presented it to Mira. "You have created a masterpiece," she said. "This tapestry will inspire and bring light to all who see it." Mira thanked the Starlight Weaver and returned to her village, carrying the tapestry with great pride. The villagers marveled at its beauty and were filled with a renewed sense of wonder and hope. The tapestry was hung in the village square, and its light reached every corner of the land. Mira's gift continued to bring joy and inspiration to everyone who gazed upon it. And so, the Starlight Weaver's legacy lived on through Mira's creation, a testament to the power of dreams and the magic of the stars. The end. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, there stood an ancient well at the center of the town square. The well was no ordinary one, it was known as the Wishing Well. Legend had it that the well could grant a single wish to anyone who truly believed in its magic, but only if their heart was pure. The villagers often told stories of the well, passing down tales of those who had their wishes granted, of farmers who wished for bountiful harvests, of travelers who wished for safe journeys, and of lovers who wished for eternal happiness. But there was one rule that everyone knew: you could only wish for something selfless, something that would bring joy to others. In the village lived a girl named Lila. She was kind and thoughtful, always helping those in need. Lila lived with her grandmother, who had raised her after her parents passed away when she was very young. Her grandmother was the most important person in Lila's life, but as time went on, her grandmother grew older and weaker. Lila worried every day that she would lose her. One evening, as Lila was tending to her grandmother, the old woman held her hand and whispered, "Lila, my dear, there is something I want you to have." She handed Lila a small, silver coin. "This is for the Wishing Well. I kept it for years, waiting for the right moment, but I think you should have it now. Use it wisely, my sweet girl." Lila took the coin, feeling the weight of her grandmother's words. She had heard of the well's power, but she had never imagined she would be the one to make a wish. She knew exactly what she wanted: to wish for her grandmother's health to be restored. But she also knew the rule: the wish had to be selfless. That night, Lila lay awake, thinking about what to do. She loved her grandmother more than anything, but she didn't want to break the well's rule. As she thought about it, she remembered all the kindness her grandmother had shown to others over the years, how she had helped neighbors in need, cared for the sick, and shared her wisdom with everyone. Lila realized that the best way to honor her grandmother was to wish for something that would bring happiness to the whole village, just as her grandmother had always done. With that in mind, she knew what her wish would be. The next morning, Lila walked to the wishing well with the silver coin clutched tightly in her hand. The village was quiet, the sun just beginning to rise. As she approached the well, she felt a gentle breeze, as if the well was welcoming her. Lila took a deep breath and closed her eyes, thinking of all the people in the village, including her grandmother. She tossed the coin into the well and whispered, "I wish for a garden to grow in the heart of our village, a garden that will bring joy and nourishment to all who live here." The well was silent for a moment, and then Lila heard a soft, melodious sound, like the tinkling of bells. She opened her eyes and saw a faint glow emanating from the well. The light spread out, covering the ground around the well, and wherever it touched, flowers and plants began to grow. Within moments, the village square had transformed into a beautiful garden, filled with vibrant flowers, lush greenery, and fruit-bearing trees. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, and the sound of birds singing in the trees. The villagers soon awoke to find the garden, and they were amazed. They gathered in the square, marveling at the beauty that had appeared overnight. Lila's grandmother, feeling stronger than she had in years, joined them, her face lighting up with joy at the sight. Lila stood by the well, her heart swelling with happiness. She knew that her wish had been granted, not just for her grandmother, but for everyone. The garden became a place where the villagers would come together, sharing in its bounty and finding peace and joy in its beauty. As time passed, the garden grew even more magnificent, and the village prospered. Lila's grandmother regained her strength, and the villagers often spoke of the day the wishing well had granted Lila's wish. They never knew exactly what she had wished for, but they knew that it had been made with a heart full of love. Lila would often visit the well, sitting by its edge and watching the garden grow. She knew that the true magic of the well wasn't just in granting wishes, but in teaching everyone the power of selflessness and the joy that comes from giving to others. And so, the village thrived, with the wishing well and its magical garden at its heart, a symbol of the love and kindness that Lila had shown with her simple, yet powerful wish. The end. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by vast meadows and deep forests, there was a small village named Luminera. The village was famous for its annual Moonlight Festival, where the villagers celebrated the beauty of the full moon with lanterns that were said to have magical properties. These lanterns were believed to bring good fortune and happiness to those who held them. In Luminera lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her love of the moon and her curiosity about the magical lanterns. Every year, she eagerly awaited the Moonlight Festival, but this year, something felt different. The village had been struck by a series of misfortunes. Crops had failed, animals were ill, and the once vibrant festival preparations seemed subdued. Determined to bring back the village's joy, Lyra decided to seek out the source of the lantern's magic. She had heard of an old legend that spoke of a hidden moonlight lantern, one that was more powerful than the rest. This lantern, according to the legend, was hidden deep in the enchanted forest and could only be found by someone with a true heart and pure intentions. One evening, under the light of the full moon, Lyra set off on her quest. She packed a small bag with essentials, a map, some bread, and a flask of water. Her loyal cat, Luna, joined her for the adventure. As Lyra and Luna ventured into the enchanted forest, they encountered their first challenge, a dense fog that seemed to swirl and shift, making it hard to see. A soft, melodic voice called out from the fog, guiding them to a small, glowing mushroom. Follow the path of light, the voice said. It will lead you to the heart of the forest. Lyra followed the glowing mushrooms, which created a trail through the fog. After walking for a while, they arrived at a sparkling stream with clear, flowing water. On the other side of the stream stood a wise old fox named Felix. "Greetings, traveler," Felix said. "To cross the stream, you must solve a riddle." Lyra, eager to continue, agreed. Felix's riddle was, "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Lyra thought for a moment and answered, "A map." Felix nodded approvingly and helped Lyra and Luna cross the stream using stepping stones that appeared magically. On the other side of the stream, they found themselves in a meadow filled with glowing fireflies. In the center of the meadow was a beautiful, ancient oak tree with a small, intricately carved door at its base. The door was locked, and a note was attached that read, "Only the pure-hearted can unlock this door." Lyra reached into her bag and pulled out a golden key her grandmother had given her. She had always kept it with her, believing it to be a symbol of hope. When she placed the key into the lock, the door opened with a gentle creak. Inside, they discovered a hidden chamber bathed in soft moonlight. At the center of the chamber stood the moonlight lantern, glowing with a radiant, silvery light. As Lyra approached the lantern, she felt a warm, comforting presence. A gentle voice spoke from the lantern, "You have shown great courage and kindness. The magic of this lantern is now yours to share." With the lantern in hand, Lyra and Luna made their way back to Luminera. The village was still gloomy, but as Lyra approached with the moonlight lantern, a magical glow began to spread through the air. The lantern's light filled the village with a warm, soothing radiance. The villagers gathered around in awe as the lantern's magic lifted their spirits and healed their troubles. The crops began to flourish, the animals recovered, and the festival preparations turned into a grand celebration. The Moonlight Festival was more vibrant and joyful than ever before. Lyra was celebrated as a hero, and the Moonlight Lantern was placed in the village square, where it continued to shine and bring happiness to all. The village of Luminera thrived, and the legend of the Moonlight Lantern was passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that lies within a pure heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, there was a quaint little village called Serendipia. The village was known for its vibrant gardens, its cheerful festivals, and most notably, for its magnificent star-shaped fountain that stood in the village square. This fountain was said to hold a magic star, known as the Star of Serendipity, that granted a single wish to anyone with a truly pure heart. The fountain was lovingly cared for by a kind-hearted young girl named Mira. Mira had always been fascinated by the star and the stories surrounding it. Her parents had told her that the star had once been a gift from the heavens, given to the village to bring joy and luck. One bright summer day, as the village prepared for its annual festival, a shadow fell over the land. A fierce, dark cloud covered the sky, blocking out the sun and casting an eerie gloom over Serendipia. The villagers were worried, as the darkness seemed to sap their energy and joy. Even the star of serendipity appeared to be dimmed by the shadow. Mira decided that she had to do something. She believed that the magic of the star could help lift the darkness if only she could restore its light. With a heart full of determination, Mira set out on a quest to find out why the star had lost its glow. She ventured into the nearby enchanted forest, where she met a wise old owl named Orin. Orin had lived in the forest for many years and knew much about its secrets. "Wise Orin," Mira asked, "do you know why the star of serendipity has lost its light?" Orin hooted thoughtfully. "The star's light may be fading due to a disturbance in the balance of magic. There is an ancient prophecy that speaks of a hidden crystal, the Heart of Light, which can restore the star's brilliance. The crystal is hidden deep within the Forest of Whispers, guarded by magical creatures. You must find it to bring back the light." Thanking Orin, Mira continued her journey into the Forest of Whispers. The forest was filled with mystical creatures and shimmering lights, but it was also filled with trickery and illusions. Mira's path was not straightforward, and she had to navigate through a maze of enchanted vines and shifting shadows. Along the way, Mira encountered a mischievous sprite named Faye who tried to lead her astray with illusions and riddles. However, Mira's pure heart and determination allowed her to see through the tricks and stay true to her path. Faye, impressed by Mira's resolve, decided to help her. "There's a hidden glade deep in the forest where the Heart of Light is kept," Faye said. "I will guide you there, but you must promise to use the crystal's power wisely." Mira agreed, and with Faye's help, she reached the hidden glade. In the center of the glade was a large, ancient tree with a hollow at its base. Inside the hollow, Mira found the Heart of Light, a radiant crystal that glowed with a warm, golden light. As Mira took the crystal, the forest seemed to come alive with a vibrant energy. The dark cloud over Serendipia began to dissipate, and the sunlight began to pierce through the shadows. Returning to the village with the Heart of Light, Mira placed the crystal at the base of the star-shaped fountain. The crystal's light merged with the star, and the star of serendipity began to shine brighter than ever before. The fountain's water sparkled with a magical glow, and the darkness that had covered the village vanished. The villagers rejoiced, their spirits lifted by the return of the light. They celebrated with a grand festival, where Mira was honored as a hero. The star of serendipity had not only restored its brilliance but had also brought a renewed sense of hope and joy to the village. From that day on, the fountain stood as a symbol of light and magic, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, a pure heart and a bit of courage could restore brightness and bring about serendipitous changes. And so, Serendipia thrived under the glowing light of the star of serendipity, forever grateful to a brave girl whose heart had shone as brightly as the star itself. The end. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between emerald hills and a shimmering lake, there was a mysterious place known as the Moonlit Meadow. The meadow was bathed in soft, silver light every night, and it was said that the moon's magic made the flowers there bloom with an ethereal glow. In this village lived a humble young woman named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and her beautiful voice, which she used to sing lullabies to the village children. Every evening, after her daily chores, she would visit the moonlit meadow to sing to the flowers, hoping that her music would help them grow even more splendidly. One night, as Mira was singing beneath the full moon, she noticed something unusual. A soft, golden light began to emanate from the center of the meadow, where a delicate silver tree stood. This tree was unlike any other she had seen. Its branches were adorned with tiny, glistening orbs that seemed to pulse with a gentle, rhythmic glow. Curious and enchanted, Mira approached the tree. As she neared, the golden light became brighter, and a soft, melodious voice spoke from the tree. "Greetings, Mira. I am the moonlit tree, guardian of the meadow. Your songs have brought great joy and magic to this place." Mira, astonished, replied, "I didn't know my singing could have such an effect. How can I help you, moonlit tree?" The tree responded, "There is a special wish that I must grant tonight, under the light of the full moon. However, to make this wish come true, I need a special ingredient, a moonbeam flower, which only blooms once every 100 years. Myra's eyes widened with realization. I've heard of the moonbeam flower. It's said to be found in the highest peak of the Silver Mountains, guarded by a fierce dragon. The moonlit tree nodded. Yes, but I believe you have the courage and kindness to retrieve it. The dragon, though fierce, is not evil. It is simply protecting the flower, as it is vital for the balance of magic in the world. Determined to help, Mira set out on her quest the next morning. She climbed the Silver Mountains, her path winding through rugged terrain and steep cliffs. Along the way, she encountered various challenges, a roaring river and a treacherous landslide, but she faced each obstacle with bravery and resourcefulness. At the peak of the mountain, Mira found the dragon's lair. The dragon was a magnificent creature with shimmering scales and wise, gentle eyes. Mira approached with respect and said, "I seek the moonbeam flower to help grant a wish that will bring joy and balance to the world. Please, allow me to take it." The dragon studied Mira with a discerning gaze. "Why do you seek this flower?" Mira replied earnestly, "I want to help the moonlit tree, which has brought so much beauty to my village. My wish is for the happiness and well-being of everyone, and I believe this flower will make it possible." The dragon's stern expression softened. "You have shown great courage and kindness. The flower is indeed meant to bring joy, so I will grant your request." With the dragon's blessing, Mira carefully took the moonbeam flower and began her descent. She returned to the moonlit meadow, where the moonlit tree awaited. As Mira placed the flower at the base of the tree, its light mingled with the golden glow of the orbs, creating a dazzling spectacle. The tree spoke once more, "Your wish has been granted, Mira. The magic of the moonbeam flower will spread joy and balance throughout the world." True to its promise, the meadow's beauty flourished even more, and the village experienced a wave of happiness and prosperity. Myra's songs became legendary, and she continued to sing her lullabies, now blessed with the magical light of the moonlit meadow. And so, Myra's bravery and kindness ensured that the magic of the moonbeam flower and the moonlit tree would be remembered for generations. The village thrived, and Mira, the moonlit tree, and the dragon lived in harmony, their story a shining example of how courage and kindness can light up the world. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and rivers sang sweet lullabies, there was a hidden kingdom known as Verdantia. Verdantia was famous for its lush, enchanted gardens and its friendly inhabitants. But the heart of this kingdom was a magical willow tree, known as Elder Willow, which held the power to maintain the harmony and prosperity of the land. The kingdom was ruled by a wise queen named Elowen. Queen Elowen had a daughter named Lyra, a curious and brave young princess who loved exploring the forests and learning about the kingdom's secrets. One day, while wandering near Elder Willow, Lyra overheard a troubling conversation between two woodland sprites. They spoke of a dark force growing in the whispering forest, threatening to steal the magic of Elder Willow. Concerned, Princess Lyra decided to investigate. The whispering forest was known for its dense foliage and magical creatures, and no one ventured into its depths without good reason. But Lyra's determination was strong, and she set out on her journey, bringing with her her loyal companion, a clever fox named Pippin. As they entered the whispering forest, the air grew thick with enchantment. Strange, glowing lights danced among the trees, and the forest seemed alive with whispers. Lyra and Pippin followed the murmurs until they reached a clearing where they discovered a hidden cave. Inside the cave, they found a dark sorcerer named Morven, who was attempting to steal the magic from Elder Willow. Morven was an old, crooked figure with eyes that glowed like embers. "If I drain the magic from Elder Willow, I will become the most powerful sorcerer in the world," he cackled. Realizing the danger, Lyra stepped forward. "You cannot take the magic of Elder Willow. It belongs to the land and its people, and you will not succeed in your evil plans." Morven's eyes narrowed. "And how do you plan to stop me?" Lyra, thinking quickly, remembered the tales her mother had told her about ancient magic. "I will challenge you to a contest of wits. If I win, you must leave this place and never return." Morven, intrigued and somewhat amused, agreed. "Very well. We shall see if your wits can outmatch my cunning. The challenge began with a series of riddles and puzzles. Morven, with his vast knowledge of dark magic, presented difficult questions, but Lyra, using her quick thinking and knowledge of the kingdom's lore, answered each one with grace and wisdom. Pippin helped by using his keen senses to find hidden clues. Finally, Morven presented the last riddle. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Lyra pondered for a moment and then smiled. A map, she answered confidently. Morven's face fell as he realized he had been bested. You are clever, princess. It seems I must honor my word. With a wave of his hand, Morven's dark magic dissipated, and he vanished into the shadows, leaving the whispering forest in peace. Lyra and Pippin returned to Verdantia, where they were greeted with cheers and relief. The magic of Elder Willow was safe, and the kingdom's prosperity was assured once more. Queen Aloan praised her daughter's bravery and intelligence, and a grand feast was held in honor of Lyra and Pippin. The people of Verdantia celebrated the restoration of peace, and the Whispering Forest was forever protected by the lessons learned from the encounter with Morven. And so, Princess Lyra's courage and cleverness became the stuff of legend. The kingdom of Verdantia thrived, with Elder Willow standing tall and proud, its magic vibrant and strong. And Lyra, Pippin, and the people of Verdantia lived happily ever after, surrounded by the beauty and harmony of their enchanted land. And they all lived happily ever after. In a quaint village nestled in a valley, surrounded by rolling hills and flowering meadows, there was a young artist named Arya. Arya was known for her beautiful paintings that seemed to come to life with color and imagination. Her art was admired by all, but despite her talent, Arya felt something was missing. She longed for a way to create art that could make a real difference in the world. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky was painted with shades of pink and orange, Arya discovered an old, ornate box in her grandmother's attic. The box was intricately carved with magical symbols and adorned with shimmering stones. Curious, Arya opened it to find a paintbrush unlike any she had ever seen. The brush's handle was made of a silver-like material, and its bristles sparkled with an ethereal light. Intrigued, Arya decided to test the paintbrush. She set up her easel and began to paint a simple scene of the village meadow, using the magical brush. As she painted, she noticed that the colors seemed to swirl and blend more vividly than ever before. The flowers on the canvas swayed gently, and the sky glowed with a soft, enchanting light. The next morning, as Arya walked through the village, she saw something astonishing. The meadow she had painted seemed to have come to life. The flowers were blooming more vibrantly, and the sky above was filled with a magical glow. The villagers were amazed, and Arya realized that the paintbrush had indeed brought her artwork to life. Word of Arya's miraculous paintbrush spread quickly, and people from neighboring villages came to see the wonder for themselves. Each day, Arya used the brush to paint scenes that improved the village. She painted a field of golden crops to ensure a bountiful harvest, a crystal-clear lake for the villagers to enjoy, and a majestic tree that provided shade and comfort to everyone who sat beneath it. However, Arya noticed that despite the beauty her paintings brought, there was still a sadness in the hearts of the villagers. They were grateful but seemed to lack true happiness. One evening, as she sat by her easel, Arya wondered how she could use her paintbrush to bring not just beauty, but also joy and harmony to the village. That night, she decided to paint something different. Instead of focusing on the physical beauty of the world, Arya painted a scene of the villagers coming together in celebration. She depicted laughter, kindness, and unity. As she added the final touches, the paintbrush glowed brighter than ever before. The next morning, as the villagers gathered around Arya's latest painting, something magical happened. The scene began to shimmer and come alive, and the villagers found themselves transported into a world of joy and camaraderie. They danced, laughed, and shared stories, experiencing the true sense of community that the painting had captured. As the day went on, the villagers felt a profound change. They began to help each other more, share their joys and sorrows, and work together to build a stronger, more connected community. The village became a place of genuine happiness and support, and Arya's heart swelled with pride and contentment. The magical paintbrush had indeed brought about a transformation, not just in the village's landscape, but in the hearts of its people. Realizing the true power of her gift, Arya continued to use the paintbrush to inspire and uplift the village, painting scenes of hope, kindness, and unity. The enchanted paintbrush remained a treasured artifact, and Arya's legacy lived on through the vibrant, joyful village she had helped create. Her story was passed down through generations, a reminder that true magic lies in the power of art and the strength of a united community. And so, Arya and her village thrived, their days filled with color, joy, and harmony, living happily ever after. The Whispering Fountain. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and enchanted forests, there was a small village known for its vibrant gardens and bustling marketplace. Despite its charm, the village was plagued by a mystery. The Whispering Fountain in the center of the village square had gone silent. Once, it was said to grant wishes to those who listened carefully to its murmurs, but now it was just an ordinary fountain. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Clara, who loved to help others and had a special fondness for the Whispering Fountain. She remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell about the fountain's magic and wished she could restore its voice. One day, Clara decided to embark on a quest to discover the reason behind the fountain's silence and restore its magic. She packed a small satchel with essentials and set off towards the heart of the forest, where the village elders said the magic of the fountain originated. As Clara ventured into the forest, she followed a narrow, winding path lined with ancient trees whose branches whispered secrets to each other. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. Clara listened carefully to the whispers, hoping they would guide her. After a few hours, Clara came across a beautiful, shimmering pool nestled among a grove of silver birch trees. In the center of the pool was a stone pedestal with a delicate, crystal vial resting upon it. The vial was filled with a liquid that sparkled like stardust. A wise old owl perched on a nearby branch noticed Clara and said, "Welcome, young traveler. I see you seek the magic of the Whispering Fountain." Clara nodded eagerly. "Yes, I wish to restore the fountain's voice. Can you help me?" The owl blinked its golden eyes and replied, "This vial contains the essence of echoes, a magical liquid that can restore the fountain's voice. However, it must be combined with a song of pure heart and kindness. Only then will the fountain regain its magic." Clara's heart swelled with determination. "I will sing a song of kindness and hope." With the vial in hand, Clara made her way back to the village. She carefully poured the essence of echoes into the fountain's basin. As she did, she began to sing a gentle melody, one that spoke of love, joy, and the beauty of helping others. Her voice was soft and sweet, and the villagers gathered around, enchanted by the song. As Clara sang, the fountain's waters began to shimmer and bubble. Slowly, the whispers returned, growing louder and more vibrant. The once silent fountain now hummed with life, its water sparkling like diamonds in the sunlight. The villagers watched in awe as the fountain's magic was restored. The water rose gracefully, forming shapes of flowers, stars, and gentle creatures that danced in the air. The fountain's voice, soft and melodious, spoke words of encouragement and hope to all who listened. "You have restored the magic of the Whispering Fountain," the fountain's voice echoed. "May its whispers guide and bless all who seek its wisdom." The village erupted in joy and celebration. The fountain became a symbol of hope and unity, and its whispers served as a reminder of the kindness and love that had brought its magic back. Clara was hailed as a heroine, and her song became a cherished part of village lore. As the days went by, Clara continued to help others and spread kindness throughout the village. The Whispering Fountain remained a source of inspiration and wonder, and its magic touched the lives of all who visited it. And so, Clara's tale became a beloved story, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the purity of the heart and the power of selfless acts. The village thrived, and the Whispering Fountain's voice continued to echo through the years, a testament to the enduring power of kindness and hope. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a magical village called Starhaven. This village was known for its extraordinary night skies, where stars seemed to dance and twinkle more brightly than anywhere else in the world. The village's most cherished treasure was the Stardust Fountain, a beautiful fountain said to be blessed by the star spirits themselves. In Starhaven lived a curious and imaginative girl named Lyra. Lyra loved to stargaze and dream of distant places. She often wandered the village at night, marveling at the starry sky and listening to the gentle lullabies sung by the star spirits. One evening, as Lyra was near the Stardust Fountain, she noticed something unusual. The fountain's water had stopped shimmering, and the stars above seemed dimmer than usual. Concerned, Lyra approached the fountain and discovered a small, glowing note at its base. The note read, "To restore the star's light, you must find the celestial crown hidden in the Shadow Grove. Only then can the night sky be made bright again." Lyra felt a surge of determination. She knew she had to find the celestial crown to restore the magic of Starhaven. With a sense of purpose, she set out on her quest, guided by the light of the stars and the soft glow of the note. The Shadow Grove was a mysterious and dark forest on the edge of Starhaven. As Lyra entered the grove, she noticed that the trees seemed to whisper secrets and the air was filled with a sense of enchantment. She followed a narrow path that led deeper into the forest, where shadows danced among the trees. Suddenly, a soft, melodic voice spoke from the shadows. "To find the celestial crown, you must complete 3 trials," said a graceful figure emerging from the darkness. It was a moonlight fairy with wings that sparkled like stars. The first trial was the trial of courage. The fairy led Lyra to a vast, dark cavern where a fearsome dragon lay sleeping. To pass the trial, Lyra had to retrieve a glowing crystal from the cavern's center without waking the dragon. Lyra approached the dragon carefully, her heart pounding, but her determination was unwavering. With a steady hand, she retrieved the crystal and carefully returned it to the fairy. The fairy smiled and guided Lyra to the second trial, the trial of compassion. In a hidden glade, Lyra found a wounded nightingale with a broken wing. The fairy explained that the nightingale needed help to fly again. Lyra gently tended to the bird, using her own scarf to create a makeshift bandage. She sang a soothing lullaby, and the nightingale's strength gradually returned. The bird fluttered its wings and flew gracefully, and the fairy rewarded Lyra with a shimmering feather. The final trial was the trial of wisdom. Lyra was taken to an ancient, enchanted tree with a mysterious inscription on its trunk: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra thought carefully and answered, "A joke." The inscription glowed brightly, revealing a hidden compartment containing a silver key. With the key in hand, Lyra followed the fairy to the heart of the Shadow Grove, where she found an ancient, locked chest adorned with celestial patterns. She used the silver key to unlock the chest, revealing the celestial crown, a magnificent crown adorned with radiant jewels that sparkled like the night sky. As Lyra placed the crown on the Stardust Fountain, the fountain's water began to shimmer with a brilliant light. The stars above grew brighter, filling the sky with a dazzling display of twinkling constellations. The magic of the night sky was restored, and the village of Starhaven rejoiced. Lyra returned to Starhaven as a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery and kindness with a grand festival beneath the starry sky. The Stardust Fountain continued to shine brightly, and the night sky of Starhaven became even more magical than before. Lyra's adventure became a cherished tale in Starhaven, and she grew up to be a wise and inspiring leader. The stars continued to dance and twinkle, reminding everyone of the courage and compassion that had restored their light. And so, Starhaven thrived under the brilliance of its magical night sky, and Lyra's story lived on, a testament to the power of bravery and kindness. And they all lived happily ever after. Chapter 1: The Kingdom in the Clouds. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the reach of ordinary folk, there was a magical kingdom that floated among the clouds. This kingdom was called Aurelia, and it was a place of incredible beauty, where the sky was always a brilliant blue, and the stars shone brightly even during the day. The people of Aurelia lived in harmony, guided by their wise and kind queen, Seraphina. Queen Seraphina possessed a magical star amulet that kept the kingdom aloft and filled it with light and happiness. The amulet was a gift from the celestial beings who watched over Aurelia. It was said that as long as the amulet's light shone, the kingdom would remain safe and prosperous. Chapter 2: The Darkening of Aurelia. One fateful night, a sinister shadow crept into the kingdom. An envious sorcerer named Malgar, who dwelled in the dark lands below, coveted the power of the star amulet. He devised a plan to steal it and bring Aurelia crashing down from the sky. Under the cover of darkness, Malgar slipped into the queen's palace and used his dark magic to create a storm that dimmed the amulet's light. The once bright and vibrant kingdom began to darken, and the people of Aurelia grew fearful. Desperate to save her kingdom, Queen Seraphina called upon the bravest young knight in Aurelia, Sir Orion. With his loyal steed, Luna, Sir Orion vowed to retrieve the stolen light and restore peace to the kingdom. Chapter 3: The journey begins. Sir Orion and Luna set out on their quest, guided by the faint glow of the dimming amulet. They journeyed through the misty clouds and descended into the dark lands below. The path was treacherous, filled with thorny brambles and eerie shadows that seemed to whisper threats and taunts. As they ventured deeper, they encountered a friendly firefly named Fyra. Fyra had once lived in Aurelia and recognized the need to restore its light. She offered to guide Sir Orion through the darkest parts of the land with her tiny, glowing light. Chapter 4: The Trials of the Shadowlands. The trio's first challenge came when they reached the Shadow Forest, a place where the trees were twisted and the air was thick with fog. In the heart of the forest stood the Tree of Echoes, which held the key to finding Malgar's lair. However, the tree was guarded by a mischievous sprite named Zephyr, who loved playing tricks on travelers. Sir Orion, using his wit and kindness, engaged Zephyr in a game of riddles. If he won, Zephyr would reveal the way to Malgar's lair. With Fyra's help, Sir Orion solved the riddles, and Zephyr, impressed by their cleverness, pointed them towards a hidden path leading to Malgar's fortress. Chapter 5: The Sorcerer's Fortress. As they approached Malgar's fortress, they encountered fierce, enchanted creatures guarding the entrance. Using his bravery and skill, Sir Orion fought off the beasts while Luna and Fyra used their agility and light to outmaneuver them. Inside the fortress, they faced Malgar himself. The sorcerer, wielding dark magic, attempted to overpower them. But Sir Orion's courage, Luna's loyalty, and Fyra's light proved stronger. In a fierce battle, Sir Orion managed to reclaim the star amulet from Malgar's grasp. Chapter 6: The Return to Aurelia. With the star amulet safely in hand, Sir Orion, Luna, and Fyra made their way back to Aurelia. As they ascended from the dark lands, the amulet's light began to grow brighter. By the time they reached the kingdom, the amulet was shining as brilliantly as before. Queen Seraphina welcomed them with open arms and placed the amulet back in its rightful place. The kingdom of Aurelia was restored to its former glory, the skies once again filled with light and the people with joy. Chapter 7: The Celebration. A grand celebration was held in honor of Sir Orion, Luna, and Fyra. The people of Aurelia rejoiced, and Queen Seraphina bestowed upon Sir Orion the title of Champion of the Stars. Fyra was given a place of honor in the palace, and Luna was celebrated as the bravest steed in the kingdom. The stars in the sky shone even brighter that night, as if the celestial beings themselves were joining in the celebration. The legend of Sir Orion and his quest to save Aurelia was told for generations, a story of bravery, friendship, and the enduring light of hope. And so, the kingdom of Aurelia continued to float among the clouds, a beacon of light and magic, reminding all who heard the tale that even in the darkest times, the light of courage and kindness will always prevail. The End. Chapter 1: The Hidden Kingdom. In a distant land, hidden by towering mountains and thick forests, lay the kingdom of Eldoria. This kingdom was known for its beauty and prosperity, ruled by a wise and kind king named Alaric. The people of Eldoria lived in harmony, and the kingdom flourished under the protection of an enchanted golden feather, said to bring peace and prosperity to the land. King Alaric had a beloved daughter, Princess Eleonora, who was as kind-hearted as she was beautiful. The people adored her, and she spent her days helping those in need and exploring the wonders of the kingdom. However, a dark shadow loomed over Eldoria. An envious sorceress named Morgana coveted the golden feather and its power. She plotted to steal it and bring darkness to the land. Chapter 2: The Enchanted Forest. One day, as Princess Eleonora wandered into the enchanted forest, she encountered a wise old owl named Athena. Athena warned her of Morgana's plans and the danger that awaited Eldoria. Princess Eleonora, the kingdom is in grave danger. Morgana seeks the golden feather, and you must protect it. Eleonora, determined to save her kingdom, asked Athena for guidance. The owl advised her to seek the help of the guardians of the forest, magical beings who could aid her in the battle against Morgana. With a heart full of courage, Eleonora ventured deeper into the forest. Chapter 3: The Guardians of the Forest. As Eleonora journeyed through the forest, she met various magical creatures. First, she encountered a gentle deer named Leora, who had the ability to heal. Leora joined Eleonora on her quest, offering her healing powers and guidance. Next, they came across a playful pixie named Flick, who possessed the power of illusion. Flick could create mirages and distractions to confuse enemies. With a mischievous grin, Flick agreed to help Eleonora protect the golden feather. Finally, they met a strong and loyal wolf named Rune, who had the strength to fend off any threat. Rune pledged his loyalty to Eleonora, promising to protect her and the kingdom with his life. Together, the group of friends set out to find the golden feather and stop Morgana's evil plans. Chapter 4: The Dark Sorceress. Morgana, sensing Eleonora's presence, summoned her dark forces to capture the princess and her companions. The forest grew darker and more treacherous, but Eleonora's resolve did not waver. With Leora's healing touch, Flick's illusions, and Rune's strength, they overcame every obstacle Morgana sent their way. At last, they reached the heart of the enchanted forest, where the golden feather was hidden. Morgana awaited them, her eyes burning with malice. "You cannot stop me, foolish princess. The feather's power will be mine, and Eldoria will fall into darkness." Eleonora stood tall, her friends by her side. "We will never let that happen, Morgana. The power of the feather is meant to bring light and hope, not darkness and despair." Chapter 5: The Battle for the Feather. A fierce battle ensued. Morgana unleashed her dark magic, but Flick's illusions confused her minions, creating chaos. Rune fought bravely, protecting Eleonora and the golden feather from harm. Leora healed their wounds, keeping their spirits strong. In a moment of clarity, Eleonora remembered Athena's words. She held the golden feather high and called upon its magic. A brilliant light enveloped the forest, banishing Morgana's darkness and weakening her powers. Realizing she was defeated, Morgana fled, vowing to return. But Eleonora knew that as long as the golden feather remained in Eldoria, the kingdom would be safe from her evil. Chapter 6: The Return to Eldoria. With the golden feather secured, Eleonora and her friends returned to Eldoria. The kingdom rejoiced, celebrating their brave princess and her loyal companions. King Alaric embraced his daughter, proud of her courage and determination. Eleonora placed the golden feather back in its rightful place, and its magic restored peace and prosperity to the land. The people of Eldoria learned of the brave deeds of the princess and the guardians of the forest, and their tale was told for generations. Chapter 7: A New Beginning. Years passed, and Eldoria continued to thrive under the protection of the golden feather. Princess Eleonora became queen, ruling with wisdom and kindness, just like her father. The guardians of the forest remained her loyal friends, always ready to protect the kingdom. And so, the tale of the lost princess and the golden feather became a legend, a reminder that courage, friendship, and hope could overcome any darkness. The end.
Once upon a time, in a cozy village nestled between rolling green hills, lived a young girl named Clara. Clara was known throughout the village for her vivid imagination and her love for stargazing. Every night, she would sit by her window, staring up at the sky, and dream of adventures among the stars. One crisp, clear night, as Clara gazed up at the twinkling sky, she noticed something extraordinary. A star, brighter than any she had ever seen, began to twinkle and then slowly descend from the heavens. It floated down, landing softly in her garden. Intrigued and excited, Clara rushed outside to see the star up close. In her garden, the star transformed into a beautiful, glowing figure. The figure had delicate, shimmering wings and a warm, gentle smile. "Hello, Clara," the figure said in a melodious voice. "I am Stella, a star fairy. I've come because I heard your wishes and dreams as you gazed at the night sky." Clara's eyes widened with wonder. "A star fairy? I've never heard of such a thing. What brings you here?" Stella smiled. "I've come to grant you one wish, Clara, anything your heart desires." Clara thought for a moment, then replied, "I wish to bring happiness and prosperity to my village. The people here are kind and hardworking, but they've faced many hardships lately." Stella's eyes twinkled with delight. "A noble wish, indeed. Your kindness and selflessness will be rewarded. But remember, true happiness and prosperity come from within and from helping one another." With a wave of her wand, Stella cast a sparkling spell over the village. The once ordinary garden now shimmered with magical flowers that bloomed even in the darkest night, fruits that never spoiled, and herbs that could cure any ailment. As the days passed, the villagers began to notice the changes. The fields yielded abundant crops, the animals were healthy and thriving, and the people themselves seemed more joyful and full of energy. Clara's garden became a sanctuary where everyone gathered to share stories, laughter, and dreams. One day, a traveling merchant named Elias arrived in the village. He was amazed by the vibrant atmosphere and the happiness that radiated from everyone. He visited Clara's garden and was welcomed with open arms. Clara shared the story of Stella, the star fairy, and the wish she had made. Elias was deeply moved by Clara's story. "I have traveled far and wide, but I've never seen such a place of harmony and joy. You and your village have something truly special." Elias decided to stay in the village, and with his knowledge of trade and craftsmanship, he helped the villagers create beautiful goods to sell in neighboring towns. The village prospered even more, becoming known as a place of magic and happiness. Years passed, and Clara grew up, but she never lost her love for the stars. Every night, she would still gaze up at the sky, thanking Stella for the gift she had given. One evening, as she sat by her window, Stella appeared once again. "Clara," Stella said, "you have used your wish wisely and brought great joy to your village. But now it is time for you to embark on your own adventure." Stella handed Clara a small, glowing star. "This star will guide you wherever you wish to go. Follow it, and it will lead you to new dreams and new adventures." Clara hugged Stella, filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Stella. I will cherish this gift and continue to spread happiness wherever I go." With the glowing star in hand, Clara set off on a journey beyond her village, exploring new lands, meeting new people, and sharing the magic of the star with everyone she encountered. Her adventures became legendary, and the tale of Clara and the star's gift was told in villages far and wide. And so, Clara's story lived on, a reminder that with a kind heart and a wish for the happiness of others, one could light up the world like the brightest star